These are the VRS Porsche Pro pedals. So it's a high-end product, stainless steel construction with an industrial aesthetic. Very, very adjustable. All three pedals, the pedal faces in terms of height, depth, angle are fully adjustable, and overall pedal angle is also adjustable. Now, if we look at the throttle pedal first, we have quite a unique design here. So we have a rodless spring, which doesn't quite look right to the eye, but functionally performs extremely well. Absolutely no friction whatsoever. So really nice, smooth response. And we have a lot of adjustability here in terms of initial starting force, preload, and also overall force and pedal travel. So if we move on to the brake, we have similar levels of adjustability, a very high-end, heavy-duty construction. We have the blue spring on here at the moment, which tolerates a 65 kilogram maximum force. Also supplied is the optional red spring, which doubles that to 130 kilograms. These are linear springs, which is not normally how a real-life brake pedal feels. So we have this very clever mechanism on the back here, which basically turns that into a progressive, more realistic feeling, which gives you quite a decent bit of travel for low-level trail braking, and then more of a ramp up when you're really braking much harder. And we have this tie rod at the top, which is fully adjustable, along with preload, so you can really fine-tune that exact force shape to your preference. On the clutch, we have a similar level of adjustability in terms of pedal face and also the shape of the curve. So we try to emulate a clutch plate, which is stiff initially and then flattens out as the clutch gives way. So that's emulated here with a small amount of adjustability, including overall travel as well. So we're very happy with this product, and we hope you are too. These are the VRS Porsche Pro pedals. So it's a high-end product, stainless steel construction with an industrial aesthetic. Very, very adjustable. All three pedals, the pedal faces in terms of height, depth, angle are fully adjustable, and overall pedal angle is also adjustable. Now, if we look at the throttle pedal first, we have quite a unique design here. So we have a rodless spring, which doesn't quite look right to the eye, but functionally performs extremely well. Absolutely no friction whatsoever. So really nice, smooth response. And we have a lot of adjustability here in terms of initial starting force, preload, and also overall force and pedal travel. So if we move on to the brake, we have similar levels of adjustability, a very high-end, heavy-duty construction. We have the blue spring on here at the moment, which tolerates a 65 kilogram maximum force. Also supplied is the optional red spring, which doubles that to 130 kilograms. These are linear springs, which is not normally how a real-life brake pedal feels. So we have this very clever mechanism on the back here, which basically turns that into a progressive, more realistic feeling, which gives you quite a decent bit of travel for low-level trail braking, and then more of a ramp up when you're really braking much harder. And we have this tie rod at the top, which is fully adjustable, along with preload, so you can really fine-tune that exact force shape to your preference. On the clutch, we have a similar level of adjustability in terms of pedal face and also the shape of the curve. So we try to emulate a clutch plate, which is stiff initially and then flattens out as the clutch gives way. So that's emulated here with a small amount of adjustability, including overall travel as well. So we're very happy with this product, and we hope you are too.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit IRacing.com.
Good day to be in Victory Lane.
Green flag is in the air. Driving with conviction. Side by side, hammer down. The after-checks are lit. Don't count out anybody. Who wants it the most?
We are eyes on the leader now.
He is driving his guts out. Wheel to wheels, they come to the line. Victory, this will be.
Nobody wants it more than you.
Next flag has been ignited. Does he have enough? A dominant performance.
You're gonna say no, baby. Let's go.
Can you believe what you are seeing? Everybody's pushing as hard as they can get it. One final shot.
You gotta earn this thing right here to the end.
It is all on the table.
A total 500.
Start your engines!
If you're looking to get serious in sim racing, one of the first things to do is upgrade your wheelbase and pedals. The powerful force feedback in our direct drive wheelbase makes a huge difference, and our highly adjustable precision pedals will give you the consistency you need to improve. So you'll not only get the best value for your money, but you'll also benefit from our quick, local shipping from Australia and save even more. Our transparent pricing has GST included, so there's no nasty surprises at checkout or further customs, delays and charges. And if you're near Melbourne, you can simply pick up your hardware from our showroom and get a free product walkthrough from one of our VRS coaches. We offer excellent customer service after the sale, and our hardware is made of the highest quality components. To get yours today, just go to the URL on the screen or click on the button below. But hurry, stock is always limited due to high demand. So if you want to get faster, sooner, VRS is your answer.
Control, feel the thunder in my soul. Through the danger, through the pain, only one thing to do to get to victory lane. Taking risks, full send, and in the end, be the best. It's taken over, cannot contain the desire to get to victory lane. I hear the echoes of the past, the roaring ghosts that never last. But here I stand, the finish line. One last race, one last time. Through it all, get past the pain. Cutting laps, making gains. Feeling tired, get to my aim. The desire to get to victory lane. Speeding faster, no control. Feel the thunder in my soul. Through the danger, through the pain. Only one thing to do to get to victory lane. Taking risks, full send, and in the end, be the best. It's taken over, cannot contain the desire to get to victory lane.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Infinity Broadcasting, and welcome into the VRS Virtual Racing School Porsche Cup Series, brought to you by the iRacing World Challenge for the Season 4 Grand Finale here this evening. 9 previous weeks have come down to the 10th and final week of the season, as we'll go racing for a second undroppable round for 2 weeks in a row. 2 40-minute feature races to come our way for the longest format in VRS Porsche Cup Series history, and for the first time, Adelaide Street Circuit makes its debut into the series after its long-awaited inclusion in the iRacing calendar. We finally have our finale proper available to us now. Hamish Munro here with you alongside Brandon Stuck. And Brandon, coming into tonight, 49 points separate the top 2 in the championship of Ryan Bettis and Daniel Harris as well. Dylan Shepherd is up and around there, and he can challenge for it tonight if all goes wrong for Ryan. Ultimately, though, it is going to be a Mount Everest level climb for Harris to overcome the OPR cars of Shepherd and Bettis out there this evening, and in fact within this championship battle as well. If Harris ends up and wins this title, this is going to be an all-time comeback story I think we'll be talking about for a long, long time.
Yeah, it certainly will be. Good evening to yourself, Hamish, and good evening to everyone watching this broadcast. Yeah, look, Daniel Harris has had an amazing show over the last couple of weeks. Of course, last week in Miami, it was a fight. But now today, we're on the streets of Adelaide. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so am I. It's going to be super, super exciting to see Adelaide for the first time and see this brand new format for the first time as well. As we said, 2 40-minute races. What does that mean for the series? Well, obviously it means we've got 2 of these longer format races, so it means we're guaranteed pit stops in both. What we're also guaranteed is there's a couple of extra points on offer tonight if someone were to do the double. If you go on and win both races, 320 points will be offered up to you, whereas a normal round you'd be offered just 300 points actually, because normally we'd only be going racing for 60 minutes. So with that little bit of extra time, there's a couple of extra points on offer. Race 2 tonight is going to have a top 15 inversion as well on the grid. That's going to spice things up for the second 40-minute feature race of the evening as well. And it just feels good to finally get Adelaide in. Brandon, we spoke about it from the start when we started this league, because we knew Adelaide was coming. We said when Adelaide comes in, it is going to become our finale. And now it is finally here, and now we finally get to talk about it, and we get to finally go racing in it in the Porsche Cup cars as well. This is how the championship currently stands. As we said, 49 points separates Daniel Harris and Ryan Bettis. It's a further 6 points back to Dylan Shepherd, so he is still within a hell of a shout at this title race. Sam Muir is mathematically capable of winning, but it is going to take a ultra poor round for the 3 cars ahead of him for him to win the championship. They're basically not going to have to make 75% in one of the races to get 0 points for him to win the title tonight. Alex Tzikis, well, he's out of overall title contention, but he is well within title contention for the silver class. All he has to do is score points in race 1 and outscore Jack Wilkins, and he will be the silver class champion of the season. Ellie Gardner, she's out of title contention, as is Mazzomo and as is Burgess, so they've got nothing to lose tonight. Burgess has got to be careful, though, with that caveat, Brandon. Just because he hasn't got nothing to lose doesn't mean OPR hasn't got anything to lose. And within the rule set, if he tries to do the team game and it goes sour, well, race control may be looking further into it. Not that we're going to claim he's going to do that at all, but it's definitely something that needs to be considered, knowing the tactics they've been bringing to the table to try and win this championship all season, which I think we need to clarify. Team game tactics, perfectly acceptable as long as they're well within the rules. That's racing. Real world racing, we get team tactics. Real world racing, we get teams teaming up together to help each other. And it's within the rule set as long as they don't break any driving standards rules out there. So he should be okay. Jack Wilkins can't win the silver championship tonight if he does not outscore Alex Tzikis in race 1. Same for Craig Schultz as well. Angus Lawford, he's out of the title race. Hasn't been in for a couple of weeks either. I'm not even sure if he's on the grid here tonight as well. Sam Blacklock, he's had a great run the last few weeks. Excited to see what he can do next season if he does get signed up once again, and if he can properly challenge for the championship. Todd Suter, well, he's in a great position for the bronze championship tonight. Currently sits roughly 63 points ahead of Gary Watson. What a story it would be for either Todd or Gary to go on to win this championship after the domination in the early season of Tim Nicol. Both of those guys have been consistent, and they've been in nearly every single week. Jamie Fleming, Scott Rankin make up our top 15 in the title race at this stage in time. But ultimately, the big main event is the battle between Bettis and Harris as we go racing here at Adelaide. And it's one that I'm super excited for, Brandon. I think it's one that a lot of people should be excited for. And I think what else we should be excited for as well is this phenomenal racing circuit down in the city of Adelaide of South Australia.
Certainly would be. Look, I'm looking forward to this one. Adelaide, we know, grand final for the supercars. Let's make it a grand final here for us in the sim world as well. Looking forward to this one. Adelaide, one of my favorite street tracks of all time, and so glad to have it on the iRacing service. Very bumpy as well. Let's keep that in mind. It is a bumpy circuit, and it is obviously mostly a street course here. You'll see the layout pop up in just a second. First opened up in 1985, of course, hosted the Australian Formula One Grand Prix for some years before moving on to Albert Park. And look at those, Centre Chicane, Wakefield Park, Brock Straight, Brabham Straight. That is all street circuit. From turn 11 onwards, up back up towards turn 1, it is all parkland. So it's going to be a tough one here today, but I'm looking forward to seeing how the drivers tackle it here tonight.
I am as well. I mean, obviously, this track's about to go through a little bit of a layout change in future when the MotoGP comes here for the Australian Grand Prix as of 2027 as well, and they will bid farewell to Phillip Island after this year's Australian Grand Prix. But to see this version of the layout of the circuit, this year may be the last time we see supercars running this layout before the layout changes next year. But of course, running on that main straight, the first sector there of Centre Chicane 1 and 2 into turn 3, that's going to be an early area for calamities as well, through Wakefield Road up at 4 and into the staircase of 5, 6 and 7. Very easy to get loose and end up in the wall. It's very, very tight up there. Drivers are going to have to be careful. If they can maximise their run off 7, they set themselves up good for the Brock Straight. And then they've got to be careful at the kink at turn 8 as well, not to end up in the wall like so many have before. The run into turn 9, good passing opportunity under brakes, but very easy to overextend yourself as well. So if you can make it through the roundabout down at turn 9, you set yourself up well for turn 10. Try not to overextend the circuit at turn 11 and flowing it through 12, 13 and down towards the hairpin at 14 as well. As we said, 3.2 Ks, 2 miles was opened back in 1985. This layout's been used ever since 1999. The Grand Prix finished coming here back in 1995 and moved over to Albert Park in 96. It is 14 turns of great street circuit racing here in Adelaide, South Australia, of course. And as we said, it's a gem in terms of Australian motorsport, and it's one that a lot of motorsport fans are super happy to have as a part of the calendars of racing. Qualifying is currently underway, and Ryan Bettis sits at the top of the timesheets at the moment with a 119.01. Daniel Harris is right there with him though, a 119.03. Muir up in P3 with Shepard in P4 to Zikas. He currently sits pole for the silver class here this evening at a 119.50 as well. We spoke about what Tzidakis needs to do tonight to win this silver title. He just has to outscore Jack Wilkins in race number 1. If he does that, he will win the silver championship and become a gold driver for season 5. For Bettis, ultimately, it's not going to be over, I think, until race 2. I think it would take Daniel Harris to have to finish last and for Bettis to win race 1 to really lock Harris out of the championship. He's got to outscore Harris by 70 points in race 1 to lock him out of a championship, or actually more than that, by 90 points in race 1 to lock him out of a championship winning position in race 2. That's going to be nearly impossible unless he can make sure Harris doesn't make the 75% marker of race 1 to get points out there on the road tonight. So I think that gold battle and the bronze battle, Brandon, I think they're going to be finalised in race 2. I think the silver class may be determined in race 1 though.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much set in stone for the silver class. You can see Bettis now coming through the centre chicane, bouncing over the curb at 2, and then parking it up out of the exit of 3. Yeah, look, this gold fight is going to be on. Look, last couple of rounds, I've noticed the way Daniel Harris has been driving. Actually, the last 3 rounds. You know, Kota, Daytona, Miami. Harris has been driving like a man on a mission, and that is what we want to see here. He's defended hard from the OPR boys. He's made a few calls that we sort of questioned on, but he's been up thereabouts, and I think here tonight, here at Adelaide, I think if he can keep this up, he is bound for the championship. But he's got to get through Bettis, but not forget that Dylan Shepard can play rear gunner, and also Miles Bridges as well. I mean, they're all in the same team there. Harris needs to maybe prey on a few friends in the gold class, maybe some friends in the silver class, see if he can get a bit of a hand in that one. But we'll see how he goes here tonight. So far, Sam Muir, top of the timesheets at the moment with a 118.9. that's pretty quick.
Well, of course, as well, Sam sitting with a bit of momentum across the weekend, won for the Porsche class at the OSR 12 hour yesterday with his teammates from 9.5 Sim Sports. So obviously he's on a bit of a run of form, getting that win at Bathurst across the weekend. Can he carry that maybe into a race win tonight here at Adelaide and try and do a little bit of an Australian double in the P Cup car? Well, at the moment, he sits pretty good to try and classify himself in pole position. He's the only car to get into the 118s at this stage, and he looks incredibly strong, does the back-to-back two-time champion here in the VRS Porsche Cup Series. The three-peat looks incredibly unlikely off the end of tonight's race, Brandon, as he narrowly avoids that spinning car there off of turn 7. It's not out of the realm of possibility, though. I mean, the story that would be created if Sam Muir somehow, some way, without getting a race win all season, this has been his longest race win drought in the VRS Porsche Cup Series, if he somehow goes on to win both races tonight and through sheer luck and determination wins this championship, it's going to be an all-time narrative if that happens, ultimately. And I do believe that the only way this does happen is if those three ahead of him don't score points in one of the races. I think that's really the only world of possibility where that happens, because I think if they're running, they're not going to be finishing at the back end of the field. So I think if they're going to finish at the back of the field, they're not going to be finishing in a lap which would classify them at 75%. I mean, that's what it's going to take for Muir. It's not out of the realm of possibility. We've seen it happen before to some drivers out there, and sometimes it takes tech issues, sometimes it takes a bit of an issue on the circuit in terms of ending up in the wall. But it could happen tonight for Sam, but the odds are not in his favour.
No, certainly not. You can see him having a bit of a brush with the wall there coming into the top part of the staircase here. Yeah, look, going back to your talk on the points there, Hamish, look, I think that, Sam would have to be casting a dark cloud over Better, Shepherd, Harris, Burgess. Make sure that everyone is out of the way, and if he can score a couple wins, that puts him in the championship fight. But he would need, like I said, he needs to cast that dark cloud over everyone else and pray for bad luck to go their way and not for himself. But it is going to be tough. This is Adelaide. It's a street circuit, concrete walls on your left and on your right. It's going to be tough, as Jared McLeod now goes up to second overall at the moment, so topping the silver class battle, and has outqualified Scott Rankin, who at the time prior to this was the top of the timing standings. Different livery there. He's swapped out the Orbit drop back car for a black.
Gone for the old blackout livery for Orbit Drop Bear, it seems. Would we say for Sam Muir to win it tonight, he needs something very nice and very evil possibly in his garage to try and get across to those other cars possibly, and when they're in pit lane maybe he needs a double finger point, a little croaky voice to say you're cursed possibly. Is that what Sam maybe needs to win the title tonight?
I feel like he needs you're missing the face paint, you're missing the tattoos, you're missing the cape, you're missing everything.
Maybe you're missing the box as well. Maybe there is a box in his maybe that's what box means. Maybe they're going to be implementing the curse at some point in time. Who knows?
Might have a sit down in a sim seat and point fingers towards the screen. Hopefully something might happen, But maybe. I mean, yeah, look, I think Samuel, despite the fact of what's been happening, I mean, look, he's been on this winless streak for a little while now. But I mean, look, if he has signed up for season 5, I think he will be one to challenge. I think everyone else who's in this field tonight, who's not in championship contention, might use this as a bit of a practice, because I mean, this could be a way to sort of try and build up some form to get yourself ready for the next one, for the next season. Of course, that's another 10 weeks of epic race action. Of course, you've added St. Petersburg to the calendar, which obviously just got added to iRacing this week. So I think that this is going to be a chance for Muir not only to potentially, secure the championship, not ruling it out, but if he doesn't, he still has a chance to at least get a bit of momentum on his side going into next season.
Yeah, I definitely think he does, and it's a good segue to actually speak about it, of course, that Season 5 sign-ups are live now, so if you want to get involved in the series, well, that's the calendar for next season. You can come and be a part of it for next season as well. We've got Belle Isle on offer, Road Atlanta, Spa-Francorchamps will line up with the Pro Series the week that we run it, as well as Zolder, Magnet Court, Donington Park next season, Mugello, the Nürburgring lining up as well with the Pro Series, and then into the finals part of the season, St. Petersburg and Adelaide Street Circuit for next season will be on offer for you, running until the second week of June for this upcoming season as well. Pre-qualifying will be the 23rd of March out at Jerez. Pre-qualifying will only be required for new drivers as qualifying comes to an end and we prep and ready ourselves to go racing for 40 minutes for race one. It's uncharted territory as the first grand final variant of the final round will begin. And we'll get ourselves prepped and ready for the starting grid here tonight. Sam Muir will start pole position alongside Jared McLeod on the front row of the grid. Jared will start pole for the silver class here this evening and arguably his final outing for the silver class before he moves up to gold for next season. Ryan Bettis still in Shepherd on the second row with Daniel Harris and Miles Burgess. All he is in a sea of sharks is Daniel Harris. If he's going to win this title, he's going to have to earn it. Scott Rank and Ellie Gardner starting in behind them with Alex Tzikis and Jack Wilkins making up the top 10. Todd Sutter, bronze champion-elect, will start out of P11 ahead of Ross Armour in P12. It's not over just yet, though, and Todd could still drop that bronze championship to Gary Watson, who's a bit further down the order. Simon Mazzomo, Craig Schultz starting ahead of Jolan Hansen and Tim Nicol, with Jace Douglas and Jamie Fleming starting ahead of Gary Watson and Brady Stanley at the back end of the field here this evening. Our race controllers tonight, Leith McClement is heading up race control with Jordan Ferguson alongside him, as well as in the safety car here tonight, as well as, unfortunately, Greg Favell had to be away for work here this evening too. Links going out in the chat, though. If you want to join the Discord to get involved in the series next season, join the Discord, get signed up, and come and hang out with us in the IRWC for Season 5. As we said, new drivers will go through the pre-qualification process on the week of March 23rd out at Jerez Moto Circuit as well. You'll run the same setup that we ran during the regular season to compare your times to what the drivers did in qualifying. And we'll see where people line up if they are new to the series. In only a few weeks' time, and it's exciting when we get to the end of the season. It always feels like a full circle moment, Brandon. It feels like the narratives come together at the end of the season when we do get to grand final territory, and when we get to this final round. This is literally what the last 9 rounds, and it's a bit more than 9 weeks because it is 9 weeks. We started in January, that's right. But that's what the last 9 weeks have been about, to get to this point, to challenge for a championship, and to try and put your name in the honour boards of the IRWC annals of history. Join the likes of Simon Mazzomo and Sam Muir as former overall champions. It's all enough for them to take it in their hands. For Daniel Harris, he's going to have the toughest task ahead of him, with Bettis, Shepherd and Burgess all around him on the start grid here tonight. He's got a friend in Jared McLeod a little bit up the road from him. He's got Jack Wilkins a few positions behind him to hopefully give him a hand as well. It's still going to be an uphill battle, though.
It's going to be an epic fight. And I'm sure Daniel Harris will probably want to message some of the other drivers that are not part of OPR, so ask for a bit of help. Maybe Jared McLeod, like you said, a friend up the top. Might even want to ask Ellie Gardner or Scott Rankin to see if they can help him get involved. Maybe do a Will Brown, maybe spread a bit of cash in there, and then it might actually help.
Who knows? But lights are about to go up for them. 40 minutes about to come your way as the streets of Adelaide will get filled with the roaring sound of Porsche Cup Series action as it's green flag on the streets of Adelaide for the first time in the VRS Porsche Cup Series. And for Jared McLeod, it's a ripper start. He gets ahead of his teammate into P1 on the road. And for the guys behind them as well, it's max pressure down towards the staircase section for the first time. Watch Harris up the inside of Shepherd here, trying to get up these inside there at turn 4. He'll be caught on the outside at 5, have to give it up for right now. But this is the intensity that the concrete barriers of Adelaide bring as Harris is nearly doored into the wall by Shepherd. And the rear gunner support is already paying dividends here for Ryan Bettis as Harris has got an OPR-shaped wall right in front of him.
Oh, that Harris will not like that one. He'll be fuming at the moment. Smoke coming out the ears like an old animated TV show. But you can just see now McLeod now with Muir. They've walked away with this one. Bettis now all on his own at the moment. The battles are coming through as they come through turn 8. We've got some more battles happening in the background there. Miles Burgess and Daniel Harris are going to go at it. It looks like Rankin is also trying to line up for a move as well. He's being chased down by Ellie Gardner. What a start. Pretty clean for the first one. apart from that little minor skirmish there for Harris. Harris will be now looking to going up to the front, on board now with Rankin. Coming down to the last corner, currently in 7th, just makes the hairpin there as we finish the first lap of this 40-minute journey.
40 minutes for race 1 tonight, 40 minutes for race 2 as well. So for 80 minutes, we're going to be filling your screens with wondrous Porsche Cup action. And it just feels right whenever we get to have Porsche Cup racing in a street circuit. I think about the absolute chaos that the Gold Coast brought for us last year at the Gold Coast 600. And it's just an awesome sight to see these things around a street circuit as well. Jared McLeod, what a ripper start for him tonight, as there's been a contact in the background. Mazomo and Stanley have gone round at turn 5. Got to be careful. The rejoin bears right in the door of Watson as he looked to have come past. And our first victim has been claimed of the night, and this is how it happened.
Yeah, you see Mazono there chasing down the 54.
Oh, it looks like there might be contact with that JMR car.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so I want to... Okay, so looks like Bradley's had a bit of an issue there with one of the JMR cars. Here we go, on board at the 99, Jason Douglas.
Yep.
See any bit of contact there?
Oh, there was.
Yeah,
there was a bit. Yeah.
And an overcorrection. So contact and an overcorrection.
That's like he's been sandwiched into the curb by Douglas's car. And then, as you said, he tried to catch it and the thing just got loose on him and he's gone into the wall, and wrong place, wrong time for Mazomo back in the field. We've currently finished 2 minutes and 50 seconds in this race. Thus far, McLeod went to the top of the timesheets, and guess what? Sam Muir has matched him. He has only gone, I think that was 1,000th of a second slower on that last lap. That was ridiculous for Muir and McLeod. The 9.5 Sim Sports boys carrying the momentum after yesterday's result in the OSR 12 hour, and they're trying to carry it to its absolute maximum here this evening out at Adelaide. It's a wonderful sight to see, and if you're joining us here tonight, let us know your thoughts. We've got the pleasure today of being able to test out streaming in 2K for the first time on Infinity Broadcasting, so let us know if it's nice and smooth out there, if there's some issues as well. We're live testing some streaming options for ourselves here in Infinity Broadcasting and using the league that I admin as the testing source, so let us know how everything's going in Streamland from your view, and if everything's nice and clean and crisp, if the sound's good as well. And if you want to keep an eye on anyone here tonight, let us know. We'll try and give you an update on them throughout the racing here out at Adelaide Street Circuit as well. McLeod's done well off the start, as is Muir. Bettis and Shepherd, they're just getting into a rhythm now at this stage. And I think if Harris is going to jump Shepherd, it may not be until he actually runs through pit lane, Brandon. I think that's now going to be the tactic for Harris, is try and get past him in pit lane, because I don't think he's going to make it very easy for him to get it done on the tarmac out there. And he's got to try and do it with a strategy if he can get this Echelon Esports car past the OPR car of Shepherd up in P4.
No, Harris will have to throw a dummy or something to get it done on the track. I mean, that's the only way he can get it done, like you said, or unless it have to be in pit lane. But look at back at the front, Ryan Betts is now on the back bumper of Sam Muir, wants to mark a signature on the back of that car, as he is now looking for a move, wants to get further up in the grid. If he's just ahead of Harris, that's all Bettis has to do, is just finish ahead of Harris. But Bettis is a tough racer. He wants to win this one, at least if he can try. He knows he has the speed. As Daniel Harris now has gone past Dylan Shepherd, so he has made up one more move, and now Daniel Harris will use some of that speed that he has, that secret lead in the right foot, to see if he can make up any more positions. He's still going to try and defend. Bit of a wide run there for Shepherd into the hairpin, so that's opened up the gap a bit more. And you can see now, look at that, Jared McLeod. I never thought I'd see this one. You know, a silver class driver leading a field of gold competitors in his wake. So he's well ahead of everyone else, but the battle between Muir and Bettis is still going. And this is going to probably go down to the wire. I think the only way you're going to break these two up is through a pit stop cycle.
Yeah, I think so. And I think for Bettis, he's got to try and plan around this now, knowing that even if he gets past Muir, he's going to have to try and deal with McLeod, as there's been a slowdown now for Daniel Harris. So he's got to try and serve this up. And I think that's how he actually got past Shepherd on the last lap, was Shepherd had the slowdown and he inevitably had to let Harris go. Well, now it's going to swap around the other way. McLeod's also dealing with a slowdown as well, so he's got to try and figure out how he gets rid of that, whilst being able to not allow Bettis past, but also allow his teammate Sam Muir past into the race lead, as well as Harris. Just trying to deal with the slowdown now. McLeod's trying to deal with his as well. There's a little bit of blinking for Shepherd in the background, as McLeod has to drop back to P3 thanks to that slowdown penalty that he received. And that's how far you can serve it from turn 1. Is all the way to just before the kink at turn 8. And they've done a great effort there just to get everything rocking and rolling in proper as well. So Sam Muir now leads the way to Ryan Bettis, Jared McLeod, Dylan Shepherd, Daniel Harris, the top 5. With Burgess, Gardner, Wilkins, Rankin and Tzoukas making up the top 10 here this evening for race number 1 of 2. And, well, for Muir, he's carrying that momentum, he's carrying some confidence, but he has a raging bull in Ryan Bettis in behind him, who has been the man on fire this season. Most race wins to this point in the championship. Leads the title race as well, of course. And, well, he just has to try and finish within a certain amount of Daniel Harris tonight to win the title as he looks to go around the outside of Muir at turn 4. Is he going to get the inside run at 5? Of course he does, but is Muir going to be able to come back at him here? This battle looks to be heating up, Brandon, and I don't know if Bettis is going to be able to run away from him just yet.
No, I don't think so. Muir's tough, and I think Sam is going to try and do everything in his power to keep up with Ryan Bettis. Look at McLeod. Let's put McLeod back into it a little bit as well. Look in the background there, Shepherd and Harris. If these three keep fighting the way they are, it's going to bring in more people into contention, and it's going to bring Harris that little bit closer towards the front. Take a look at McLeod now. It's just poking the nose out, sort of showing the headlights there. But as you said, I mean, McLeod and Muir, they're teammates. I don't think you want to be going head-to-head with your teammate. Not if, I mean, even if Sam Muir may not be in full contention for this title. I mean, obviously, we spoke about it earlier. You know, if something does go wrong and Sam can get a couple of wins under his belt for the season, I think McLeod's just sort of trying to psych him out a little bit, maybe see if he can get the hurry up. But look at this now. As I called it, Shepherd and Harris, they're closing in on the fight. Going to get a bit of a slipstream, bit of a tow. See if anyone gets the slowdown off the center chicane. Nothing yet up towards Wakefield. Bettis has slowly pulled that gap. It's sort of like a stretch here. It expands and then shrinks. It expands and shrinks. So I think Sam might have a handle on this one a little bit. So I don't think Bettis will be running away with this one anytime soon.
No, I don't think he will be. So just to look at the points differences for tonight's races, there's 160 points for a race win, 150 for P2, 145 for P3, and it goes down by 5 until we get to P5 on the road at 135. Then it goes down by 4 to the back end of the top 10 until we go down by 3 as of P12. So it's going to take a little bit of work for Harris to do this, pretty much to get 20 points ahead of Bettis. So say Harris wins the race, where does he need Bettis to finish? Ultimately, he needs him in probably P5 or below in race 1, and then the same for race 2, and he can win the title by a solitary point if he were to do that, Brandon. So if Harris does the double tonight, he needs Bettis pretty much P5 or below. If Bettis is above P5, it's going to make it a lot harder for Harris to do it in race 2, especially if he can't beat him on the racing surface in race 1. He's got a hell of a uphill battle here tonight if Harris is going to win this title, of course. But for Shepherd, he's in a very similar boat as well. And it may be that after race 1, OPR realises, well, it's Bettis to win now. Shepherd's going to try and help his teammate as best he can. And they may give the onus to Bettis out there, as Shepherd's just trying to get past McLeod. But here comes the friendship factor that we spoke about. Of course, Harris and McLeod are friends, former teammates in the series. And well, this is where it pays to have friends. McLeod may just be trying to back up Shepherd here to help out his good old mate Daniel Harris in behind him.
Yeah, you saw Harris go for that little move into 5. I think just when made contact with the back of Shepherd's car. But look at this now, McLeod. You're right. I think McLeod's backing up Shepherd here a little bit, trying to bring in.
It'll be helping his teammate Muir as well. That takes the pressure off Muir. If he can hold Shepherd back and stop the 2v1 for OPR against Muir as well. So there's a lot of factors here as to why McLeod will be trying to do this, to help out not only his friend in behind him in Harris, but also his teammate ahead of him in Sam Muir.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that might be the case as well. As you said, I mean, Harris and McLeod good mates, and then of course Sam Muir up ahead, the teammate to McLeod. So I mean, you can just see how he's going to work this one on board now with McLeod. Looking at the back towards Shepherd and Harris, bouncing over the curbs at the center chicane up towards turn 4 Wakefield corner. You can just see how close Harris is. There you go. He's backed him up now. McLeod has now pulled that little bit of a gap and I think Harris might be possibly sizing up a move here. 11 minutes down in this one, and just keeping an eye out on the a bit of a scrape to the wall there for Harris. Just keeping an eye on the gap between Bettis and Muir. That gap has slowly opened and closed as well. It's 0.5 of a second at the moment, up to 0.6. So that gap hasn't exactly. So Bettis hasn't exactly run away with this one. If Muir can keep him within a second of him, it might help out a little bit for Daniel Harris. So of course, still a lot to play for in this one. This isn't over yet by a long shot. And you can just see how everyone else is just scrambling to find their way through position here. So 40 minutes of racing on the trot for today, plus another 40 minutes after this one. So looking forward to seeing how the race plays out as Harris gets a bit of a slide on out of the final corner.
So I wonder now, if Harris can't make this move maybe within the next 3 minutes, Brandon, do we maybe see him as Bettis has got a slow down at the front of the field, so that'll now change the race lead. Muir comes past him, he serves the slow down, and there's a swap for the race lead. Do we maybe see Harris trying to pull off an undercut? Maybe he comes in early and gets himself into some clean air and just tries to push on, because ultimately he's not gaining anything by sitting behind Shepherd right now, and there may need to be a dice roll pulled here to get that car at the front end of town.
I think if I was Harris, I would probably go for that one. I'm no professional racer myself, but I think Harris. I think you're right. If he stays in behind Shepherd the way this is going, he's not making any gains out of sitting in that position. So I would have to say maybe it might be best to jump into the pits and maybe chuck on a fresh set of tires, try for an undercut. As you see back here, the battle between Ross Salma and Jason Douglas, and just in front of them is Tim Nicol. So bronze and a couple of silvers as Douglas goes for a move at the inside into 9. Almost all banging side by side. We've seen this plenty of times before in the supercars. And Ross Armour only just holds on to that, but Jason Douglas isn't letting this one go. On the inside into 13, bouncing over the curb as we have a pit stop in play.
That's Scott Rankin. Scott Rankin into pits, so he just had an off track a moment ago. I wonder if he's actually clipped the wall down here at turn 11. Oh, he did run it a bit wide. Oh, he might have actually hit the tyre barrier a bit. That's an odd moment there for Scotty, but he's back on the road now. Daniel Harris is just dropping position. He's battling away with Jared McLeod. Contact's made. McLeod's gone round down at turn 7. What the hell has led to that?
Oh, has Harris got damage? Let's take a look at this here.
So look at that. So Shepherd absolutely sends him up the inside, trying to pull maybe a little bit of a Ryan Wood dive there, but he managed to get through better than Woody did. So hats off to Sheppo. And then Harris and McLeod have been caught side by side through turn 6. McLeod off the wall, contacts made, and straight in the side of Harris's car. And I think if you're Daniel Harris, you've got to come into pit lane pretty much this lap or the next, because if this thing has damage, he's got to try and get it fixed up. But that there is a wild moment, a massive calamity. But yeah, you got to say hats off to Sheppo. He pulled the move off, as we said, better than Woody did. He got that job done, as Brady Stanley's been caught out now, down at turn 6 and turn 7 as well. As Adam Hughes is in the chat with us, Fire Up Bettis fans, Fire Up OPR fans as well. This is what happened to Brady Stanley all in his lonesome at the back end of the field. Brady's had some good performances before, but he's been out of the series for a couple of rounds now, and that's just an unfortunate moment. They're caught up by the curb. Tim Wall saying undercut can be underdone by a safety car call. It can indeed. It is a big risk, big reward scenario, Tim. So if you're Harris, though, do you try and risk it, Brandon, hoping that there's not going to be a safety car? Or do you push on in the hopes that there could be a safety car?
I think you better push on hoping that there is a safety car. So look up ahead now. Shepherd's gone past Bettis. What? I think, did Bettis have a slide up? Or did Shepherd just get so much momentum for 8? He's gone past his teammates. Look at the speed that Shepherd's got. Shepherd has somehow found another gear.
I wonder
here in the Porsche.
I wonder if Bettis is maybe just trying to save a little bit of fuel right now, just to cover off a pit stop a little bit. Because they're never going to save enough to get home. But is he maybe just on a little bit of a fuel save here, just to maybe offset the pit stop slightly to Harris and coming behind him maybe? I don't know. But it's a very, very odd choice if that wasn't the case, though, I would say. Unless Bettis did get a slowdown, obviously, we've missed it. But, yeah, very odd.
No, I think you might be right there, Hamish. I think Bettis, being behind your teammate, you can save a bit of fuel there. So I think this is somewhat helped Ryan Bettis, but I think at the same time you're risking it now because look who's behind him is Daniel Harris. But Daniel's still circulating, so Daniel doesn't seem to be having any sort of effect after that contact with McLeod. But
he looks okay at the moment, which is not too bad. So he looks all right, but I think the problem for Harris is he's got to try and hang on to these guys. He's got Burgess chasing him down as well, who we know is going to try and make his life hard to help out his teammates. So that's going to be a factor as well to keep an eye on, as well as Todd Suter has just been passed here by Craig Schultz down at turn 8. So the current bronze championship leader has just been passed on by as Tzikis and McLeod are battling for position as well with Jack Wilkins. Great little silver class battle here for the class win or class lead at this stage of the race for race number 1. Of course, Alex, as we said, is the provisional silver class champion tonight. He just has to beat Wilkins on the road in race 1, and he will be the silver class champion. For Wilkins, he needs Tzikis to not score any points in race 1 for that to be reversed. Fast sub of the race goes the way of Sam Muir last time by 1:18.88 across the strike as the racing continues to the halfway point of race 1 as we are 17 minutes 45 seconds on the clock, done and dusted, with 22 and a bit minutes to go here in race 1 this evening. And at this stage, it's pretty hard to call, Brandon. And as I said, I didn't think that the gold class was going to go and be decided in race 1. I still believe it's going to be decided in race 2. But the amount of action we've had in the first half of race 1, it could go anywhere at this point.
Yeah, I think we've had quite a bit of action there, slowdowns and a bit of a bounce off the walls. A bit of action here at the Adelaide Parkland Street Circuit. As you can see now, Sam Muir coming through 1.5 seconds in the lead, but I'm keeping an eye out in the background there. Harris and Bettis. Harris has somehow closed that gap up to Bettis, so I don't think the fuel saving idea might have worked too well in the favour. Harris has slowly closed up towards Ryan Bettis, and we're not even halfway through this one at the moment. You can just see how much of a slide you can get around that last corner there as well. So Samuel now starts another lap in this one. 1:18.8 is the fastest lap of the race. And you can just see now if Harris is going to be able to get up to Ryan Bettis. Look at this. Just love this view. Bit of a POV inside the helmet. Absolutely loving this. You can just see how much steering Harris has put into it, so it doesn't look like he's got damage there, so we can confirm with that one. No right hand down, no left hand down. He's just got to be able to try and keep it off the walls, keep it clean. Maybe hope that Bettis can maybe hoping that Bettis might get another slowdown off maybe the centre chicane, because if he gets another one, then I think Bettis might be in a bit of strife there. Off the walls goes Bettis as well. He's just scraped the wall at 8. That might affect the steering a little bit. No, he looks to be right there. So Harris now will just have to hope for good luck and pray on that right foot.
So pit stop here as well. A drive-through penalty here for Ross Armour across that last run through. I'm unsure why. He's just driven straight through pit lane, but fair enough. He's driven straight through previously as well. There's been a points penalty handed out to Simon Mazzomo for that that rejoin that we saw with the incident earlier in the race with Brady Stanley, if you recall, and Gary Watson as well. As Shepard's just gotten a slowdown down at turn 1 too, so this is now going to shrink the gap back to Bettis and Harris as well. So this is an ebbing and flowing moment in this race. And for Samuel, he's loving it because he is growing that gap out to 1.6 seconds here tonight. For Muir to win the championship, well, more than likely he needs the double win, and he needs all 3 of these drivers outside of the top 10 for him to win the title here tonight. So currently that's not happening as Bettis comes past Shepard. There's a parked car on the side of the road in Brady Stanley, just letting the traffic go by. Been in the wars tonight as Brady, unfortunately. So Bettis gets by Shepard, and Harris continues on forward as well as Ross Armour. It was actually Ross Armour who's just pulled up, so he's trying to let all the traffic past. He's not having a night to remember, is he?
No, unfortunately not. keep an eye on Ross at the moment and just see if he will get going once everyone else has gone past him. As you can see now, look at this. The OPR boys and Daniel Harris is now peeled into the pit lane to come in for that compulsory pit stop. Slow it down to the pit lane speed limit, put the limiter on, and make sure you do not go over it. That's the last thing that you want, especially in a fight like this for the championship. Comes into the lane, gets the service done.
Of course,
see how long he decides to stay in there.
Of course, should be no tyres going on board these cars tonight. They don't normally take tyre changes in these races. It's fuel only for Harris at a 12-second stop. So he'll exit pit road. He'll come out just in behind Joel and Hansen. So only one car that he's got to pick off before he gets into a bit of clean air. And Joel may just let him go as Tim Nicol and Simon Mazzomo are getting into it up here down at turn 4. Both of them have run it wide down there, and it's getting intense between two of our longest serving drivers in the series. Both of them have been around ever since season 1, and they're getting into things here up towards turn 7.
It's pretty close. Bit of racing there through there, but Simon made a clean pass on that one there. Jason Douglas now is going to come into the fight on this. He's going to be looking for a fight on Tim Nicol as well. Of course, two different class drivers right there between Nicol and Douglas. Looking forward now to seeing how they go through there. Simon Mazzono, of course, working his way back up the field after getting tangled up in a incident at the start of this one. Unfortunately, that did involve our man Brady Stanley, and unfortunately, he got caught up in that one. Points penalty, as you said, for him as well. Big slide for Nicol. He's kicked off the wall. He's going right across the track. Right in front of everyone else.
No. Harris may call that in for the rejoin there, but panic stations for Tim Nicol as he brings it into pit lane. Mazzomo's just gotten a slowdown as well. Bettis is now serving a slowdown to allow Shepherd back past him once again. So the chase down is on from P2 down to P12 for Daniel Harris to try and get his car ahead of the OPR boys at the top end of town. There's been a couple of incidents across that piece there. Jamie Fleming's had this moment coming out of pit lane, it seems, and I have a feeling he may have just parked up maybe to let the traffic go past, and I think that's exactly what he's done. He has indeed. So he's actually done the gentlemanly thing just to let the leaders go past him as he's come out of pit road, and then he's continued on. So that's fair play there to Jamie Fleming. So he doesn't have to do that, but he does. Shepherd and Bettis are in the pit lane. This was the wild ride for Tim Nicol, though. Across that corner. Oh, my God.
I think there might have been a bit of contact with Jason. Might have to have a look at the onboard there. How does Tim Nicol just scrape the wall? Left a bit of a signature on that one. The second look here at the replay.
Oh, there was contact.
Oh, okay.
He drilled him.
A bit of contact there. So I think Race Control will look at that one. But what a slide for Tim Nicol, just scraping off the wall as our OPR boys, Shepherd and Bettis, have come in for their stops. Here comes Daniel Harris now.
Oh, significantly shorter. They were significantly shorter, Brandon. 11.1 for Shepherd, 11.6 for Bettis. So I think they've either fuel saved enough to do that, or they're planning to fuel save the next stint of this race.
So that's brought, but that still has brought Harris back in. So of course the fuel saving game is going to help now. But of course Harris is out there by himself. He hasn't got a teammate with him. But he's got two OPR boys right in front in Bettis and Harris. But of course we know that the if you shortcut the chicane at 1, 2, and 3, you do get a slowdown. So Harris might be now hoping for one of those as Sam Muir comes into the lane.
As does Miles Burgess as well. We'll see if Ellie Gardner follows suit. Nope, she wants to lead a lap of this race. Jared McLeod comes in the background as well. So Gardner will continue on into the race lead here. We'll see if Craig Schultz follows them in. He does indeed. What about Todd Sutter, the bronze class leader at this stage? He's into pit road. So Shepherd is going to be corrected P3 or into P3 after this pit stop period for Muir. As Muir will drop now. It takes a slightly longer stop. He's exiting pit road now, but he's right at the exit. So Muir will come out back into the corrected race lead. And it's all guns blazing to the checkered flag now of race 1 for the evening. Shepherd just ahead of Bettis with Harrison behind them as well. And Sam Muir looks to try and win his first race of the season in the final round of the VRS Porsche Cup Series here in race 1. In the grand final format for the evening. 2 40-minute races. How much can it shake things up here across this race tonight? And it gives us a good indication as well, Brandon, of, well, how's this going to play out now in future seasons possibly? Maybe what will a bit of weather maybe do if we throw that in there as well for 2 40-minute races? I suppose you'll have to tune in for season 5 to find out if we do decide to throw a bit of weather into it. But I think what it's given us, though, is a real grand finish to the season, and it's given a good test to these drivers as well for the final round of the championship this season, as Ellie Gardner commits to her pit stop in race 1. So she'll come in, and Sam Muir will retake the race lead once he comes past the start-finish strike here to begin lap 21 of the next time by.
Yeah, I think if you throw a bit of weather in there, Hamish, I think it's really going to spice up the racing. Of course, especially we know how heavy the weather can be on not just in real life but also in iRacing. I think I might just throw a few curveballs in there as well, as Samuel will now come across the line and retake the lead. Ellie Gardner has completed her pit stop and will come out in P6 at this stage. So now she's out, she's serviced, she's ready to go and finish off this one. Just under 13 minutes to go in this one, and look at how close the top 4 are in this one. It's Muir, Shepherd, Bettis and Harris. Place your bets. Someone's going to win this one. I don't know who you want to bet on. I'm not really much of a betting man. I actually suck at betting. I'll put it to you that way. But I think, look, this is now going to be a real good battle here. Look how close Harris is towards the back of this train. He is looking for a good result here tonight to keep himself in the championship fight. His title rival is right ahead of him. There's no one in between. But we know Harris has pace. We know Bettis has pace. Who is going to take this one here tonight for race 1 here at the Adelaide Grand Final, if you will? I think let's just call it that because this is the Grand Final.
Yeah, it is.
And Muir, you can see there's just defending with his life. And look at Bettis now. He's looking for a move on Shepherd. I think he might want to get past and get away from Daniel Harris.
Oh, massive jump of the curbs there for Harris as they come through turn 2 and 3. Bettis and Shepherd as well. It was the fastest lap of the race, not this last lap by, but the lap before for Daniel Harris. 1:18.75. He's one of the fastest drivers on track at the moment. His tyres are up to temperature, and this car is full firing. Bettis, though, has been the man on fire all season long, and there's a reason why he leads the championship. There is Jamie Fleming in the wall down at turn 7. He'll await the cars to come past him, and he'll get rejoined once again. Ellie Gardner, oh my God. That was so close to being an absolute calamity down there. And that is the problem tonight, Brendan, with these blind corners. You don't know who could be waiting for you on the other side, and if you're positioned wrong and you're a little bit unlucky, you could end up with a tow back to pit lane if you find yourself in the wrong waters, if you will.
Yeah, if you find yourself facing in the wrong direction, or be the unlucky participant coming around the corner and there's a car blocking your view. We've had a couple of close calls here tonight, but we can see now back to this fight at the front here. Just over 10 minutes to go in race 1. Then Dylan Shepherd now looking for a move on Sam Muir over the 1-2 chicane. It's in chicane right there. Beautiful bit of movement there. Got a mechanical black flag for Jason Douglas as well. As Shepherd now up the inside of Muir, or side by side. Can they keep it clean through 5? Oh, look at Bettis now. Bettis wants in on this one. Through to 6.
Oh my God, they're still trying to keep it side by side.
Oh, someone's going to give. Someone's going
to
give.
It does. Shepherd through to the race lead. Watch for the run from Bettis. Harris is in there as well. And Muir's been caught out here. Here comes Bettis at the kink. Can he get that done on the exit? Harris is going to go through with him as well. Bettis covers right to the inside of turn 9. Harris and Bettis now down towards the roundabout. Harris is caught out wide here. Watch for Muir to take advantage. It is intensifying on the streets of Adelaide as Dylan Shepherd has taken the race lead with less than 10 minutes to go in race number 1.
Oh, you don't see that very often. Side by side through the entire staircase section here at Adelaide. Look at Harris now. Brilliant run off the last corner now. Bettis ran a little bit wide. So now Harris now will be looking for a move towards, trying to get up there towards Ryan Bettis now. He's right in behind him. One over the top of the chicane there. Through number 3, up towards Wakefield. This is going to be an intense one. Look how close he is under brakes. A little bit wide there, showing the nose. Looking for the over-under. Oh. Harris is not giving up this one without a fight there, Hamish. I think he is really looking forward to this one. He now knows he's got just about 8 minutes left to go in this one. So that's only going to equivalent to at least a few more laps in this one. He's running out of time. He knows it. Through 8. Right up behind Bettis now. Bettis defends.
Well, he knows as well, Brandon, that there's a 5-point difference for this position to be made, right? So the 5 points is not going to do a hell of a lot. It's going to drop the gap down to 44 points heading into the final race, but it's going to be a gain. It's better to gain those 5 points than to give them up with one race to go, because it's only going to make his life harder in race 2 as he looked to turn in, but realised that Bettis was still there. And he has to watch for Muir as well, as Bettis parks it on the apex. So he's playing rear gunner now for Dylan Shepherd, who wants to try and run away with this race win. He also knows that with Shepherd up in P1, if Harris finishes P2, he's going to lose P2 in the title race, being that it is a 10-point difference between P1 and P2. Could Harris go for it here? Or could the lap traffic ahead of them pay a factor as well? This is going to be one of the most intense 7 minutes of motor racing we've seen in a long time for the VRS Porsche Cup Series in terms of the overall championship landscape, where Harris has got to try and beat Ryan Bettis on the road, and they have got lap traffic to deal with, as it's a slowdown penalty for Ryan Bettis. That gives Harris the position that he needed, but now he's got to try and traverse the lap traffic down at turn 9 if he can. Oh, Watson tried to move out of his way. Harris gets on by, luckily for him. As we see as well, that's their that was Brady Stanton. No, that was Ross Armour getting right out of the way as well. So they didn't want a part of it, but it's given a massive advantage down to Dylan Shepherd at the front of the town. So the story's going to be leading out of race 1. Shepherd's going to be P2 in the championship by 3 points over Daniel Harris, and Harris is about to gain 5 points over Ryan Bettis at the top end of town. So it's going to be 44 points separating separating Harris and Bettis. And if I do my quick maths here, take off 3 points, and that's going to be 41 points separating Shepherd and Bettis off of this race as well. So it's going to be tight. It's going to be tough. But it's not over until we get to the checkered flag of race 2, Brandon.
Oh, that was really, really close there. Harris, I think, will be changing. I think he'll be changing pants after this one, because that was super, super close. Almost threw it away with the lap traffic there. But what a run for Harris now. He really wants to get this one. And Bettis now up on behind him as well. So the gap is closing. Bettis now has a bit of speed. The closer you get, the bigger that slipstream gets. Look at Bettis now pulling out, pulling back in, trying to psych out Harris, trying to make Harris to make a mistake. It's not going to work. Oh, that was really close there, coming out of 9. So yeah, look, I think this is going to be an interesting little fight here to the end, especially with race 2, another 40 minutes of a banger of a race coming up for your entertainment here tonight on your Monday nights. Harris looking to just try and keep it calm, but he can't. He's got Bettis right behind him. This battle is going to continue all the way to the end. 5 more minutes left to go in this one. Coming through the 1-2 chicane there. Oh, might have had a bit of a jump. I think Shepherd might have jumped. He's got a yellow flag next to his name. I think he's jumped it. I think he might have a slowdown.
He does. Yep, he's got a slowdown. So Shepherd's got a slowdown, and he's got to be careful now how he serves this, because he's not allowed to serve it on the racing line. So he's gotten it served by turn 7. So that's worked out well for Shepherd, but it's dragged Harris back into this battle now for the race lead. We have got 4 minutes and 15 seconds left on the clock in race number 1. To give the update on how race 2 needs to go now, if you're wondering how Daniel Harris would be able to win the championship, he needs Ryan Bettis P10 on below, and he needs to win the race. That's the points differential that he needs. That would be worth 45 points. Again, he would win the championship by a single point. To beat Dylan Shepherd, well, the difference is only going to be 3 points into the next race, so it's a little bit easier. He just really has to beat him by 1 position on the road, and he can get past Dylan Shepherd. So that there needs to be the plan now for Harris in the next race, is hope that Bettis finishes P10 or below, and he needs the race win in race 2 here tonight. Black flag for Jack Wilkins, and now also a mechanical black flag for him as well, as he's parked up on the side of the road down at the hairpin. Something has happened with Gary Wilson as well. Oh, that car has got massive damage down there already. And so what's happened down here? So he loses it. He manages to pull it up down there. I think Watson actually had his own incident. He did. He ran wide. So it's actually something a little bit worse there for Wilkins down at the kink at turn 8. So he's already going slow at this stage. So we actually need to go back a little bit here just to find out how this has happened. And I think it was just a high-speed run for Wilkins that's caused him to go into the wall down there.
Yeah, let's take a look here now. On board with Jack Wilkins. We'll see
2-8.
He's hit the wall.
Yep.
So inside wall into the outside. That's been seen many a times in the real world for supercars. So unfortunately, he's now back in the pit lane though. So we get to continue on this race. Less than 3 minutes left to go, and Harris is now onto the back of Shepherd. Now Shepherd's got to be careful here. He's got to try and keep it clean. Of course, he gets this one. And Harris will be having to fight a bit of a harder fight now in race number 2. So it's OPR.
To give the update as well, with Jack Wilkins in pit lane with that meatball flag, all Alex Tzoukas has to do now is make the end of this race, and he will be considered the silver class champion. He'll be provisional silver class champion for season 4 of the VRS Porsche Cup Series. For the bronze classification in the championship, that fight's still ongoing between Todd Suter and Gary Watson, but Todd looks to extend his championship lead over Gary leading out of this race as well. So that's just a quick one for you as this fight continues on, as Daniel Harris is now right on the tail once again of Dylan Shepherd. How intense can it be for the next 100 seconds of this race, Brent? This is going to be intense. And I think we're actually going to go an extra lap here. We're going to go 30 laps, and we're going to go a little bit of overtime. He's going to go for it, though, at turn 9. Daniel Harris looks to go for the race lead now. Shepherd caught on his outside. Can Shepherd hang with him on the inside into the next corner as well? Shepherd will maintain the race lead up into turn 11. We're going to go overtime, folks. One more lap of this race. 1 lap for Daniel Harris to get ahead of Dylan Shepherd and extend the gain out to 15 points over Bettis here in race 1. Make his life a little bit easier in race 2, but this is going to be an intense final lap.
Oh, look at Harris now. He was looking for it. Shepherd was wise to the maneuvers. Look here, coming through turn 1 and 2. Don't get a slowdown. All right, looks like they got through there cleanly at the center chicane. Up towards Wakefield. Look at Harris. He's right on the back of Dylan Shepherd. He's looking. He's got to get a good run off of this section here down towards turn 8. If he can keep it close, he might be able to try for a move down to 9. He's close here into 7. Up on the curb on the outside. Oh, he's a little bit behind there, but the gap is closing now. He's got to keep his foot in it through 8. I don't even want to talk to this one. This is amazing stuff. Harris now. Oh, poke the nose. Shepherd wise to it. Not long to go. Handful of corners left. Harris looking to shorten this one for himself. Trying to make Dylan Shepherd work for the race win. Here we go. Up towards the final corner now. Shepherd defends. Harris, a little bit of contact. Wide. Watch for Bettis. Oh, look at that. Harris. Oh, Shepherd gets it. Harris second and Bettis third. Samuel fourth. What a race. Miles Burgess fifth, followed by Ellie Gardner in 6th. Jared McLeod, your silver class winner. And Alex Tzoukas, provisional silver class champion for the year. Well done to him. The 49 comes across the line and will get provisional points there. Scott Rankin in 9th, and Craig Schultz rounds out your top 10. Simon Mazzona, the loss of the gold class competitors, in 11th. Tim Nicol, the best of the bronze, will come around. We'll see where he ends up in that one. Currently 12th at the moment. Here he is around the final corner now. Bit of a slide on the back. A little bit of a celebration slide for him. So Tim Nicol will come across in 12th. Jolyn Hansen will come across the line in 13th. Todd Sutter 14th. Gary Watson in 15th as well. It's across the line a couple laps down. Followed by Jamie Fleming, Ross Armour, Jack Wilkins, Jason Douglas, and Brady Stanley, unfortunately having a bit of a shocking run there. That wraps up race 1. 40 minutes of intense race action. Let's reset the grid. Let's invert the top 15. Let's go again.
Well, we've got 5 minutes for these drivers to prepare for the final 40 minutes of racing in Season 4 of the VRS Porsche Cup Series. A great race win there for Dylan Shepherd in race 1. Daniel Harris home in P2. So what does he have to do now into race 2? Well, he needs to win, pretty much. He needs Ryan Bettis down in P10 or below for him to win the championship. To beat Shepherd, he just has to beat him by a solitary position, and he can win the championship over Dylan Shepherd. But there's going to be work to do for him in race 2. He gained a little bit over Bettis. He lost some points to Shepherd. He nearly took the race win, which would have completely changed the game. As the warm-up session begins, we'll use this time to give a quick thank you to VRS, who've been continuous support for the Porsche Cup Series across. This time last year, we messaged them for the first time, and they agreed to come on board as title sponsors of the series. It's only right we give them a bit of thanks. So don't go anywhere. Final 40 minutes of racing to come your way for the VRS Porsche Cup Series here out at Adelaide Street Circuit tonight, with race 2 about to come your way. Scotty Rankin has a little bit of a spin in the staircase section down there. Final race to come where champions are going to be crowned, and there may be some chaos on offer as well with that grid inversion, but we'll be back very shortly with more action of the VRS Porsche Cup Series live here on Infinity Broadcasting. We'll be back soon.
These are the VRS Dark Force Pro pedals. So it's a high-end product, stainless steel construction with an industrial aesthetic. Very, very adjustable. All 3 pedals, the pedal faces in terms of height, depth, angle are fully adjustable, and overall pedal angle is also adjustable. Now, if we look at the throttle pedal first, we have quite a unique design here. So we have a rodless spring, which doesn't quite look right to the eye, but functionally performs extremely well. Absolutely no friction whatsoever, so really nice smooth response. And we have a lot of adjustability here in terms of initial starting force, preload, and also overall force and pedal travel. So if we move on to the brake, we have similar levels of adjustability, a very high-end, heavy-duty construction. We have the blue spring on here at the moment, which tolerates a 65 kilogram maximum force. Also supplied is the optional red spring, which doubles that to 130 kilograms. These are linear springs, which is not normally how a real-life brake pedal feels. So we have this very clever mechanism on the back here, which basically turns that into a progressive, more realistic feeling, which gives you quite a decent bit of travel for low-level trail braking, and then more of a ramp up when you're really braking much harder. And we have this tie rod at the top, which is fully adjustable, along with preload, so you can really fine-tune that exact force shape to your preference. On the clutch, we have a similar level of adjustability in terms of pedal face and also the shape of the curve. So we try to emulate a clutch plate, which is stiff initially and then flattens out as the clutch gives way. So that's emulated here with a small amount of adjustability, including overall travel as well. So we're very happy with this product, and we hope you are too.
Welcome back to the VRS Porsche Cup Series. The warm-up session is about to come to an end. We were just discussing off-air the possibilities of how this championship can be won now for the gold class here this evening. We've determined that based on the mathematics of how many cars are on the grid tonight, being 21 cars, the minimum position that Daniel Harris could finish to win the title is P7 on the road here in race 2. If he finishes below P7, it ain't happening unless Ryan Bettis has a points penalty, and of course he's the certain amount of points behind Daniel as well. For Dylan Shepherd to win, he's in a very similar scenario, but he's 3 points closer to Bettis than what Daniel is. So for Dylan Shepherd to win the title, he also needs to finish P7 as well, because P8 would give him 123 points, P21 gives 81 points to the position, so he would still need P7 as well. That's the magic number tonight, is P7 for those championship contenders. For Ryan Bettis to win, at bare minimum, to guarantee the championship, he needs to finish P9 or above, and he will be the gold class champion for Season 4 of the VRS Porsche Cup Series here tonight in race 2. If he's P10 or below, well, that's going to change things up a little bit. That's going to mean that Shepherd or Harris are going to need certain positions to win the title over Bettis. But based on what we've seen tonight already, and based on what we've seen this season, Brandon, it's going to take something spectacular for Bettis to finish below P9 or even P10. Throughout this season, he's been Mr. Consistent in terms of top 10 and top 5 finishes as well. And I know it only takes one race for it to happen, but it doesn't feel like it could happen tonight. But who knows? Things can change. Anyway, how we'll start for race number 2 with the top 15 inverted. It'll be Gary Watson on pole, ahead of Todd Suter on the front row of the grid. Jolan Hansen, Tim Nicol for the top 4, with Simon Mazzomo and Craig Schultz for the top 6 on the grid. Scott Rank and Alex Tzikis will then start inside of the top 8. Alex, our provisional silver class champion now, after locking out enough points in race number 1. Jared McLeod, Ellie Gardner will then make up our top 10, with Miles Burgess and Sam Muir for the top 12. To Ryan Bettis and Daniel Harris, starting ahead of last race's race winner, Dylan Shepherd out of P15, Jamie Fleming, Ross Armour, Jack Wilkins, Jace Douglas and Brady Stanley will make up the 20 cars on the grid here tonight. So, in fact, that changes things a little bit. Actually, there's not 21 out there, there's only 20. So we'll have to do a little bit more quick maths to figure out proper where Harris and Shepherd need to finish for that to happen. 20th place is worth 84 points. Add 44 to that, that's 128. Shepherd needs P7, Harris needs P6 to win the title here tonight. So that changes things up a little bit, Brandon, but it's going to be intense. It's been an absolute pleasure this season, of course. We've still got 40 minutes to go tonight for Season 4. Season 5, as we said, sign-ups are live. Get involved for next season. The link to the Discord is in the live chat at this stage. I can post it again as well to try and speed things up for you in terms of getting into the Discord if you wish to get into the Discord with us and come racing with us as well. It's a $30 entry fee. Works out to around about $3 a race. And yeah, that helps you with live race control, live broadcast as well. And a great place to go racing. We've got all different drivers of all different skill levels. It's the reasoning why we have 3 different classes amongst the field as well, with drivers who've driven with us ever since Season 1 and those who've only just signed up in Season 4. So you can become a part of a great community of drivers here in the Porsche Cup Series, brought to you by Virtual Racing School and as us here as well to the iRacing World Challenge as well. For Gary Watson and Todd Suter, well, it's a bit of pressure now with them having to start on the front row of the grid here this evening. All 3 of our bronze class drivers for tonight's race are on the front 2 rows. Could it cause a little bit of chaos to those in behind them? 5 lights. Flag drops. Green flag at Adelaide once again. And you can see cars in the background already trying to scramble for early position. Down towards turn 1 for the very first time in race 2. How has the reverse grid sorted it all out? There are slowdowns everywhere off of that run through. Mazzomo with a slowdown. A couple of other drivers as well. I think Nicol may have had one too as we come up towards turn 4. And drivers are trying to force their way through if they can to find themselves some early positions here up and around the staircase section. Nicol and Rankin battling away for position, with Todd Suter leading the race at this stage to Mazzomo, Watson, Hansen, Nicol, Rankin, Tzikis, Burgess, Schultz and Harris making up the top 10 here halfway round lap number 1.
That is a clean start. That is the cleanest start that's a cleaner start than I was expecting for sure. Todd Suter now building up a massive gap now towards the rest of the field. Look at them scrambling in the background for position. Scott Rankin's gone up a position. Alex Zix has gone up a position. They're door banging. They're bumper banging. Gary Watson looks like the pinball at the moment. Getting hammered left and right. Looking at our championship contenders now. Daniel Harris leads the charge at the moment. He's going to want to get as far ahead of this field as he can. Look at Craig Schultz now up on the inside of Ryan Bettis now. Thinks better of it, especially down to that corner there. Sam Muir looking for some moves. Up into position now. Going to go 2 for 1. Getting past Jack Wilkins, looking to get past Craig Schultz as well. Look at Bettis. He's looking for position, battling away with Ellie Gardner. This is going to be a big one. Ellie Gardner looks to be holding up Bettis a little bit in that one. More slowdowns. Julian Hansen and Tim Nicol and Miles Burgess all getting a few slowdowns there for the center chicane. Look at the battles here now. Look at Harris now having to defend from Dylan Shepherd. This was the fight in the first race, and it looks as though the 93 there of Miles Burgess has gone through. Oh, sorry, that was Dylan Shepherd that has gone through on Miles Burgess there into turn 7 there. So they're still scrambling for position at the moment. What a start by everyone at the moment. Simon Mazzono now leads this one here. So after a terrible start in race 1, he now leads race 2 here at Adelaide. I'm sure he's looking forward to seeing how far up the field he can get. Todd Sutter second, Scott Rankin in third. So we've got gold, bronze and silver coming out of the top 3 as we have an incident in the background there. That is Jared McLeod. And it looks as though Tim Nicol's been involved as well. Whoa, big send onto the grass there. Take a look at the replay here. Side by side through 9. Let's see if there's any bit of contact here. Oh, that's close. Yep, there is. And we've seen that before in the real world. Thanks to... Oh, he stopped. Trying to wait for McLeod to get the position back. That was not a smart move to make. Ellie Gardner up into the rear of Tim Nicol there. I was going to say, we've seen that move before failing. Hence the, we've seen that one before. Jamie Windcup and James Courtney, I think it was, all those years ago at Adelaide. But what a run. Watch this. Oh, Ellie Gardner right into the back of Tim Nicol. That's allowed Bettis to get through. So what a run for, what a bit of a bummer there for Ellie Gardner, of course, coming around the corner. That's a blind corner as well, so not going to get much reaction from that one. Oh, what a start, Hamish. I think...
Unbelievable.
I think I can breathe a little bit.
Yeah, unbelievable race start, of course, and yeah, I mean, highly intense off of that race start, of course, as well. I mean, it was a slow start for Bettis, although he's just started to pick off some positions now. He's up to P9. So he's in a championship winning position at this stage of the race. He's pretty much just got to sit here now and hope that Muir or Gardner doesn't try and come back past him now throughout the rest of this one. For Harris, well, he's got to try and muscle his way forward with Shepherd in behind him and get up to the race leader. Scott Rankin gets a slowdown through turn 2. This is going to drop him some positions, but what a fight we can have here for the race lead. Mazzono and Rankin. Where did that podcast go? Well, there may be an on-track battle happening for a race lead here at Adelaide between them very shortly.
Well, if anyone's listened to their podcast in the past, Scott likes to throw Mazzono under the proverbial virtual bus and flatten Mazzono. I think that's a bit of a trait of Scotty's, so I think Scott's going to look to try and see if he can get up there and maybe do it in this race. And Tzikis now, thanks to that slowdown, has caught up to Scott Rankin as well. So a couple of silver class competitors. Rankin not in the fight at the moment. Tzikis is our proverbial class winner. Oh, bit of a move there. Harris gets it into Shepherd. That was a bit of a risky move there. I wonder if Shepherd might have called that one in. I'm not too sure.
I don't know. I mean, from that one look that we've just had, I mean, Harris was alongside him and then Shepherd's turned into the corner. I don't think anticipating that Harris was there, but could very easily get fiery here between them. Knowing how the last race ended, I'm sure there's a little bit of red mist on board those cars. And as intense as it's been all season, it ain't going to let off tonight, folks. I promise you that right now. This battle's going to continue to be just as intense as it always has been this season. And ultimately, the one thing they're relying on now is bad luck for Ryan Bettis, a few positions behind them, because they need Bettis now outside of the top 10 based on where they are on the road as Tim Nicol's into pit lane. this portion of the race. There's Todd Sutter with Harris trying to go by him down the inside at turn 6. Wants it at 7. Shepherd will say, thank you, I'll let you pull me through now. We continue our battle. But yeah, I mean, for Harris and Shepherd, if they want to win the title, they ultimately need Bettis down the order now. And that's going to become a little bit of an impossibility based on how he's driving at this stage. But it's only going to take him one poor run across the curb, Brandon, that could find him in the wall and have a very damaged Porsche 992.2 out there, as Shepherd still with some blinking issues. So that's not going to make things easy for these guys as they battle along.
Yeah, unfortunately, the blinking issues is what can put anyone off, especially look how close this fight has been, especially for someone like Harris, who will keep an eye out on the rear view mirror from time to time. And if he sees that car blinking, he's not going to know where it's going to reappear on his screen. But you can see now the moves have been made. Harris is defending like his life depends on it, which pretty much is. I mean, it's a championship fight happening here at the moment, and you can see now just how much Harris wants to keep his position there. Maybe try and see if he can make a move up towards the top, as Bettis now is struggling behind Todd Sutter at the moment, looking to get past, coming through 5. Of course, we know Bettis wants to get up with this pack here and battle it out for race 2 to end us off on a high here for season number 4. And you can just see how much Bettis really wants to get past Todd Sutter. There you go, he pulls out now and will make his way past just before turn 8, so good on him there. Back to this battle here at the front here of this pack here, Harris and Shepherd. Shepherd looking for a move, he's pulling left, he's pulling right, and they're going to go side by side now. You saw what happened last time at the start of this one. Harris defends. Oh, he's learned from race 1, so Harris has now learned the tricks of the trade and how to block through 11 and through 10, 11, and 12. Now coming through 13, up and towards the last corner now. Shepherd still looking for some moves. I wonder if Shepherd knows that there's still a long way to go in this one. I think Shepherd's just wanting to try and get in front as quickly as he can.
I don't know. I think ultimately he wants to try and play the team game here, get Harris in behind him, allow Burgess and Bettis to put some pressure on him and drop him some positions. Slow down penalty for Burgess, so that's going to drop him well off the back of this battle pack now. That these guys are amongst, not this previous lap before though, fast up the race for Ryan Bettis, 118.85, so that was a very, very quick lap to catch up to these guys and get in amongst this battle between them as well. Tzikis and Rankin are battling just ahead of them too. We've got Muir now caught up to the back of Todd Sutter, so he wants to try and get past him, put some pressure onto Miles Burgess and the other OPR drivers ahead of him as well. As we can see, Shepherd here wants to move at turn 8 on Harris. Is he going to try and make it side by side of the kink? He is. Somehow they make it through without making contact. It was a high pressure percentage move, and they've somehow managed to get through it unscathed as they get through turn 9 as well. And it is bulk pressure now on the back of that Echelon Esports car of Daniel Harris. He's having a fantastic race tonight thus far, doing everything he needs to do to try and win this championship. But he needs a little bit of luck here in race 2. He needs a Bettis down the order. He's doing everything he needs to here to beat Shepherd, but ultimately, for him to beat Bettis, he needs him outside of the top 10 and down towards the back end of the field. Here in race 2 of the evening, coming through turn 1, 2, and 3 now. Harris leads them in this battle pack. Further up from them, as we said, Tzikis and Rankin battling away here with Mazomo a couple of seconds up the road from them. Ross Armour into pit lane now as well. And a slowdown penalty for Joel Hansen through turn 1, 2, and 3. So he's just taking a little bit too much of a curb strike there, and that's going to slow him down for the next portion of this lap. But the intensity hasn't lifted, Brandon, from race 1 into race 2. It's just as high. And ultimately, the pressure is just as high for Harris to survive here against Shepherd and Bettis. But as I said, needs a little bit more luck here if he wants to win the title.
Yeah, I think he's going to need a lot more luck on his side. We talked about earlier, you know, about the different scenarios that need to play out for Harris to win this one. But I think Harris is going to just do the best he can to hang on as far as he can go and try and get up a bit further up the order. The gap to Scott Rankin has slowly closed up. I think Rankin's battling quite a bit away with Tzikis, and it's brought this pack a little bit closer. Mazono still leads at this stage, and I think he's quite happy just to sit out in front. He's not going to get in anyone's way. He's going to run his own race, try and win the last one for the season. And you can just see how much they are going through. A Shiphead now with a slowdown now, so he's going to have to pull over. And Bettis has come through, so now our top championship contenders here, Bettis and Harris, are going to go at it one more time before the pit stop cycle runs through. And Bettis now, you can guarantee, will not want to let this one go easy. He's going to want to try and win not only just this race, but he wants to finish on a high. And I think that's one way to stomp your authority on this one, is to finish on a high. So Bettis now up into P5, going to try and make his way up towards Daniel Harris. As you can see, he's just up ahead now. Scott Rankin looking for some moves onto Zickis, not letting this one go without a fight. And you can just see him now trying to make his way up in towards P2. I think Scott's just going to chill in for a little bit and just try and sit in behind Zickis, maybe see if he can fuel save a little bit, play a bit of strategy in this one. And you can just see how much fuel saving you can do behind another car. Also, wanted to just give a quick shout out to Ellie Gardner as well, who's held in there in the top 10. Had herself a big oopsie at the start of this one, getting to the back of Tim Nicol, and has managed to hold on to P9 at the moment. So unfortunately at the back of the gold class, hoping to see her go well next season. We'll see what you can do, as we have a off at the runoff up at turn 6. That is Ross Armour. I don't know whether he's had a bit of a moment with someone or whether he's just done that on his own. He was running in front of Mazzona. He was one of the lapped cars. You can see Mazzona just coming to shot. Here we go, a bit of a whoops. Oh, into the wall. Head on, rejoin, and oh, okay. So it doesn't even try to make the corner. Just run straight off and let the leaders come on through. Hamish, your thoughts on how this one is going at the moment?
Well, I think at the moment, I mean, it's been close racing. We're getting into that period now, halfway through the race, where drivers may be just mulling over their strategy that they could be putting into play now for the rest of this one. I mean, for Harris, there's not much more he can do at this stage. He needs Bettis outside the top 10 if he wants to win the title. He can't really do much more from the position that he's in without breaking any rules. So really, he's just going to try and bide his time and hope that maybe there is some sort of calamity on the way for Ryan Bettis' car. He's doing everything he needs to beat Dylan Shepherd. But yeah, I mean, the factor of that early dominance this season from Bettis has come back to help him at this stage. All of those race wins have paid off to put himself in such a comfortable position tonight in the championship battle that ultimately Harris needs pot luck to win the title. Similarly to how it was back in Season 1 when he was challenging Simon Mazzomo for the championship as well. And ultimately last time it didn't go his way, of course, since Mazzomo won the championship on that day. But yeah, for Harris to win tonight, he needs a little bit of luck here, and it's not really going his way at this stage, but with 25 minutes to go in this race, there's still plenty of time for something to happen to Ryan Bettis to help him out, as Todd Sutter is allowing Jace Douglas and Jack Wilkins past him further back in the field as well at this stage of the race. But Scott Rankin looks to come into pit lane now, so Scotty will come into pit road. That'll allow these guys to get past him here and push on. How hard, and this is a good question actually, Brendan, how hard is Alex Zizikas going to defend this now, knowing that he's already won the Silver Championship? He doesn't need to save his own race. He doesn't need to save the points now. He can go on hell for leather. Does he all of a sudden turn the wick up to 11 and decide, I'm going to defend for my life here for an overall podium in the last round of the season? Or am I just going to let these guys go knowing that I've already won my championship?
If I was Alex Zizikas, I would play the... I think I'd get out of the way. I think, just go as hard as you can. But obviously, you know that the two behind you are fighting for an even bigger position there. I mean, they've still got they still have a fight to uphold. But I mean, it depends on if Zizikas wants to play a bit of team games. I mean, is he friends with Harris? Is he friends with Bettis? Does he help one of them, or does he just get out the way? But if I was Zizikas, I'd probably want to get out the way, because I mean, I really don't want to tick off Harris or Bettis in this situation, because for a fact that they are going to be fighting tooth and nail for this gold championship. And this is going to be one to watch. So, I mean, look, yeah, if I was Zikas, I'd get out the way. Don't fight it. Don't play stupid games. Because if you play stupid games, you'll win stupid prizes. So I think Zikas might just want to back this one off and just allow these two to go at it. But I think Zikas might have other plans on his mind right now, as he still is pushing, and looks like he's giving a bit of a slipstream now to our gold drivers.
Well, I think, knowing what his game plan was coming into tonight, as he said to us last week, he just wanted to try and focus up, solidify some points, and I've been very impressed with the maturity that he's shown this season on track. At times early on, he struggled with a couple of little racecraft issues here or there, but ultimately, the championship season that he's put together has been actually very spectacular amongst that silver class. He should be very proud of how he's gone driving this season, and actually how he's approached his racing as well. It's been fantastic to see from the perspective of not only an admin but also a commentator as well. As we see, Harris wants it down the inside. Zikas is not going to defend him. So he's playing the same game of, I'm not going to let them go, but if they go for it, I'm not necessarily going to defend it tooth and nail either. I'm going to try and block all the way to the inside at turn 9 as Bettis now gets past him as well. Shep is the one that's been caught out there. And actually, Harris has managed to gain a little bit of gap over Bettis here, but he's also going to come straight into pit lane. Shepherd, I think, thought about following him, but he decided against it. Has now gone down the inside to Zikas here, and will now follow his teammate on forward. So how long will this stop be for Harris, knowing that the other two got away with an 11-second stop in the last race? Does he risk it and take that 11-second stop to cover, or does he take the 12-second stop here? He takes 11.23, so he has readjusted that fuel. He's readjusted the strategy. This is going to change it up now for the rest of this race. We'll see where he ends up in comparison to Bettis and Shepherd, who can now work together to chase down Mazomo. But if a battle starts up, that could risk them positions in this race. I wouldn't be surprised though if they come into pit lane this lap.
I wouldn't be surprised either. I mean, you wanted to play that little bit of the undercut strategy and try and cover off Daniel Harris if you were Ryan Bettis right now. So we'll see what he can do here. We'll keep an eye on him and see if he decides to come into the lane. The driver's racing through to turn 8 now, trying to just keep off the walls there. We'll keep an eye on Bettis here, see if he decides to bring it into the lane. Coming through turns 11 and 12. You can see Mazzone there just at the front of the shot, racing on through at the moment. Here we go, moment of truth, and it looks like none of them are going to go in. So Bettis now will stay out there. He obviously feels comfortable in that car at this point in time, as Ellie Gardner has come into the pit lane. So Ellie will come and make her stop, chuck in a bit of fuel, make sure she has enough to the end.
Importantly as well in that last stop, actually a pretty crucial pit stop for Harris there. He's actually managed to jump Scott Rankin through that pit stop cycle as well. So that's actually gained him a position already over Rankin now. In that little battle. He's got Joel and Hansen coming up ahead of him, and I believe, I've spoken to Joel a few times, he is going to get dropped down to the bronze class for next season as per his request, because he feels that he's been classified incorrectly this season. Fair enough, we take that as honesty from drivers and we look into it and make a determination. But the way he goes racing is needs to be careful, watch the relative. Harris took a late dive, gets through. But the way that Jolan goes racing, he was never going to make it too hard for Daniel there, but Daniel's a man on a mission and he wants to try and chase down the gap that was to Mazomo prior to the stop, because ultimately he wants to be in the race lead after this pit stop cycle and hope that maybe Bettis or Shepherd have a calamity coming into pit lane, maybe a stop hold that could hold them back and push them outside the top 10.
Yeah, certainly will. I think Harris will be looking for that one as Mazono now comes into the lane. I think he might have just held up Bettis just a little bit there. I'm not so sure if he's also playing a bit of the helping game, maybe trying to help Harris out a little bit here, but he now comes into the lane, gets his stop done, so that has let Bettis through.
Oh, that's a wild slowdown.
That's
that's a massive slowdown for Bettis, and that's going to cost him bulk time now. Shepherd will come past. Bettis has to get this thing slowed up, and that's a massive risky game to play. We saw him 2 wheels in the air when he got that run made through turn 1, turn 2. Let's watch this back. This was ginormous. So Mazomo comes into pit lane. Bettis and Co comes past him. And just watch the absolute pro truck launch that Bettis has down here at turn 2. It's unbelievable the amount of air that he gets off this thing. Oh my God!
Oh, look at that.
He's done
And
a wheelie.
It looks as though Shepard's helped him out and followed him through. Yeah, it's monkey see, monkey do sort of thing there. I mean, for the teammates. But what an absolute launch for Betis coming through turn 2 there at the centre chicane. Now we look now to see if they might come in for the pit stop. We know they're really good at the fuel saving game of these two, as Sam Muir has decided to come in for his stop as well. So down to the speed limit, put the limiter on, pull into the lane, get some fuel and get out there as well. So we're halfway through this one now as we look back at Scott Rankin looking for some moves, and look who's behind him. It's his old podcast teammate in Simon Mazzono, and I think these two might be looking to talk about maybe doing another episode live here tonight while racing around the streets of Adelaide, as Joel Hansen has come into the pit lane as well. Not too sure. Oh, there you go, Sam Muir as well. So Sam Muir has come out just in behind Mazzono and will rejoin this race. Do you think there might be a bit of... do you think Simon might be looking to have a bit of fun here with Scott Rankin? Maybe see if he can throw him under the virtual bus?
Oh, quite possibly. He might try and put him underneath a wall if Scotty's not careful from Mez. But flashing through his mind right now will be all the times that he's ended up underneath the proverbial Rankin bus. And he might just think, well, let's send this bus down at turn 9 and see what happens, Scotty. See if you live through this one. But it's worked out well for Rankin. So he's managed to jump Mazzono through this pit stop cycle. Mez had a much longer stop, actually. 12.3 seconds, place 10.5. As Tzikis is now into pit lane. So he'll drop down the order now out of this too. So Daniel Harris with a 26.25 second gap up to Dylan Shepherd is our effective race leader. Last lap by, they match times 118.71 for both of them. And with Douglas, Sutter and McLeod all into pit lane as well, Harris will now get promoted up to P5. And we'll see what the true gap is. It's 26.41. Harris this last lap by, what was the lap time? 118.75 as Schultze's got himself a slowdown through turn 1-2, so that's going to allow Harris just to catch up to him and shrink that gap just a little bit more, as well as Shepherd and Bettis continue their little fight at the front end of town. But ultimately, for Bettis, after this pit stop period, he's still going to be close enough to Daniel Harris to win the championship here tonight. As we said, if Harris wins this race, he absolutely needs Ryan Bettis in P10 or below. If he's P9 or above, Ryan Bettis will be the Season 4 VRS Porsche Cup Series Gold Champion for this season. So Bettis is doing everything he needs to. OPR coming to pit lane. Let's see how short the stops are, Brandon. And if they live up to how short they were the last time by, if they're going to be low 11s or maybe a mid 10, similar to what Scott Rankin pulled on his last stop.
Have a look here and see, keep an eye on the pit stop times for those two as Harris comes around turn 10 throughout turn 11 up towards turn number 12 and 13. 11.43 stop for Shepherd, a 12.18 stop for Ryan Bettis. So slightly slower than Daniel Harris. We'll see how the rejoin works. Where are those two? There they are there. So Harris has gone past them. Now he needs to pray that he can stay out in front. Maybe see if he can get back up to P1. And on the same note, see if he can hope for Bettis to have a bit of a falling out if he wants to win this championship here. So Harris now will be looking to keep his eyes forward there. Craig Schultz and Lee Gardner have unfortunately copped a couple slowdowns for the center chicane, as Schultz had to now serve that slowdown. You can't serve it on the racing line. So the slowdown has been served now. So currently Schultz is in second and Burgess is in first. So now it's just all about the waiting game now to see when these two come in and see if Daniel Harris can do anything. I think it would be nice for Daniel Harris to at least get a win to end the season off. Even if he cannot get the championship, at least he knows he can go into next season with some momentum if he has signed up.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good way, obviously, to end his season if he can get this race win tonight. And again, this is literally the maximum that he needs to try and do. He needs the race win, and he's put himself in the position to try and get a race win. Ultimately, he needs Bettis to have some bad luck. The worst potluck for Bettis would be is if there's a safety car. If there's a safety car called and it bunches the whole field back up again, well, yes, it'll hurt Harris because all of a sudden his gap will be shrunken back to Shepherd. But it'll also put a little bit more pressure on Bettis because Bettis is all of a sudden going to be surrounded by people who can attack him for position. So right now, with 13 and 3/4 minutes to go, it looks like Bettis is to win. But I have seen stranger things in terms of drivers losing a championship at the very last moment. It can take a missed shift that blows the engine and you're trapped on the back straight somewhere. It can take a lapped car not getting out of your way at the right time and all of a sudden you're caught up in an incident and then you've got to drive through. It can take anything for this to happen to Bettis now, but ultimately the momentum's with him and ultimately he's in a position where he can cruise on for the next 13 minutes and go on to win the championship at season's end. And that is the easiest way you could ever want to win a title, as Harris has just caught up to Gary Watson, trying to get by him. Bit of that lap traffic that we mentioned about. He gets by him on the main straight. But, right now I don't see it going any other way, Brandon. I think this is Bettis's to lose at this stage.
Yeah, pretty much is. I think the only way he can really lose this one is for something really to go wrong, as he's just received a slowdown, so is Rankin. So the curb hops are coming into play here for this one. Mazzono gets a slowdown as well, as it looks as though Shepherd's Bettis has had a bit of a run in there with Gary Watson, and it looks as though Shepherd's having a bit of trouble here as well, trying to get past one of the lap cars in front of him. Duff gets it done in turn 7 now. So yeah, look, I mean, I think Bettis, has this one in the bag. I think he's going to cruise home now, not to make any more mistakes that could cost him this one. So I think it's safe to say that I think Bettis, we've seen him over the last few rounds. He's done so well, and he's really, really honed in on trying to, he's just accumulated the points. He's gotten the results. It's been a tough one a couple of rounds ago at Daytona. And of course, he had that massive fight out in Miami. So to come here to Adelaide now, he's just going to be able to cruise on home, stay in behind Shepherd, not make any mistakes. I think he's safely home free.
And ultimately, he hasn't had it easy, right, over the last few weeks. I mean, Daytona, there was a little bit of shroud of controversy around it, but we made it through and we got past it. Into Miami last week, that was a tough race at Miami, a tough couple of races. And he managed to survive, at least with a good gap back to Harris, even though Harris won on the day. Harris is going to win on the day today, ahead of Bettis, but Bettis is going to win the war. And that there comes down to sort of lose the battle to win the war. He doesn't need to beat Harris tonight. He can finish where he is because of how well he's done from post to post season, all season long. From round 1 to round 10, how well Ryan Bettis has done has been an ultimate advantage to his case, because he's driven so spectacularly this season, as Alex Zizikas has just had a moment here further back in the field. That's up at turn 6. There's a little bit of a spinneroony there, but he keeps himself going at this stage in time. But yeah, ultimately, I mean, Harris has had some very poor luck at times this season, it must be said, but the consistency factor of Ryan Bettis, every single time he has finished inside of the top 10, Brandon, he's finished in the top 5 this season with 5 race wins as well. He has been ultimately, or relatively speaking, unstoppable this season. I mean, he has been unbelievable across the 16 races that have counted for him, with 17 top 5s. That is ridiculous across the amount of races that we've run this season. Throughout those 10 rounds, that is pure consistency, pure skill, and ultimately a championship-worthy season. And with 10 minutes to go, if he loses it because of a mistake or he loses it because something happens to him, there will be a little bit of heartbreak for him in that factor because of how well his last 9 rounds have gone. But when it's a championship like this, you put yourself in the position to get to the final round. You've got to make sure you race the final round perfectly. And right now, he's doing everything he needs to, and you can't really say anything negative about that. He's done spectacular all the way to this point, and it's business as usual for Ryan Bettis here in the final round.
Yeah, it certainly is. I think that's one of the key points of this championship. You get those 1 or 2 drop rounds, if you will. But I mean, for Ryan Bettis, if it's a round where you've scored no points, then you really don't lose anything. But, I mean, if you like Ryan Betts and you've got those constant top 5 finishes, which means you're constantly in the points, I mean, the worst round you're going to drop is obviously one of those. But of course, Betts, of course, is now coming through this, and he's just going to cruise it on home. He's got 9 minutes left to go in this one, as we can just see Shepherd now with a mechanical black flag next to his name. He's had a bit of a moment somewhere. But, yeah, look, I mean, back to Bettis, having that championship run as Shepherd has gone around. He's hit the wall.
He has indeed.
And, he's just, now that car's going to crab it on
so
home.
I wonder if he's gotten that by climbing the curb at turn 2 and it's breaking something on the underside of this car. I wonder if that's what's happened. And then all of a sudden you have to wonder, does Bettis push hard here? Well, he doesn't look like he is. I mean, he's 4.3 seconds behind Harris in the race lead. Does he push hard? Because if it's happened to Shepherd, who I think's requesting a tow, it could happen to Bettis. And this could be, with 8 minutes left in this race, are we going to see a safety car? It'd have to be a one-lap safety car. We've got no cars that are a lap down. Oh, sorry, we've got 4 cars that are a lap down, so they could swiftly move them by. I don't know if we're going to get a safety car off this moment, though, or if they're just going to let him tow here back in the field. But this is huge for this race now, as McLeod and Sutter battle away further back as well. If there is a safety car called, there is not, I believe. No, he's still sat there, so we're still waiting for race control to get to this moment. But that car is in a very unsafe position. He's been allowed to tow. So Shepherd has been allowed to tow back to pit lane. Got him out of the way. And that then means that the track is now clear. So no safety car late in this race. What that would have meant, though, if we did get the safety car, it would have had to have been a one-lap safety car run to get us enough time to race to the end. And it would have put everyone on the back of Harris and Bettis. So all of a sudden there would have been maximum pressure once again. But if it can happen that quickly to Dylan Shepherd, how quickly could it happen to Ryan Bettis or to Daniel Harris, for that matter as well? It could get flipped on its head in the matter of a single corner, Brandon, to either of them. And to answer your point, lowest scoring round for Ryan Bettis that he did race in was 248 points this season. That was his lowest scoring round. He missed a single round this season, and that was out at Mexico City. It's the only round he missed. So, unbelievable. An unbelievable season for Ryan Bettis, and a championship winning season at this point in time as well. Dylan Shepherd did spectacularly this season as Sam Muir looks to get up around the outside of Rankin here for P3. Hats off to Dylan Shepherd. A great season for him as well. Unfortunately lost out now because of that black flag and into tow back to pit lane. Adam Hughes asking, did Ryan hit the wall on lap 22? I saw a massive hit at turn 8. I'm unsure, Hughesy. I've got nothing stating that he did hit the wall. He may have clipped it, possibly. I've seen a couple of drivers do that tonight, but I don't know if he's carrying any damage at this stage. I think he might just be driving with a little bit of damage limitation because of the championship implications now, the final 6 minutes.
Yeah, this championship has certainly, it's really about now trying to make sure that you can maintain where you are and come on through. That gap has stayed at about 4.3 seconds now between Harris and Bettis, and you can see the lap car there. Oh, has we got another spinner here? Mazzono's gone around. What has happened to Simon? Oh, look at that, he's missing the bumper. All right, so here we go, on board. Bit of a slide out of 5, up and towards 6. Over the curb, too much power, and into the wall he goes. And that's caused, okay, so there goes the bumper. Let's see what happens. Oh, rejoins and just gives it a bit of a whoops one more time. So there's the replay there of Shepherd going into the wall.
I wanted to try and find where he would have gotten that mechanical black flag, because I haven't got a warning on my screen telling me where he actually got it. Oh, okay. I think it might have been because of how he's jumped that curb. I think that's where he got it right there. I think that's where he's gotten the mechanical black flag. It's either that or it's when he's clipped this curb. No, he didn't even clip that hard. I think he got it at turn 2. And you see there how the car's reacting. I think he's had a suspension failure off of the jump of the turn 2 chicane. Mazzomo's now back in pit lane. And yeah, that car is not very happy at this stage. 4 minutes left to go in the championship finale of the VRS Porsche Cup Series, live from Adelaide Street Circuit here this evening. Ryan Bettis is 4 minutes away, Brandon, from being crowned the gold champion for this season. With Daniel Harris, not much more he can do right now. He needs Bettis outside the top 10, and it's not looking likely across the final 4 minutes.
No, certainly not. Harris would have been trying his best to get up towards the top as far as he can and put as much space between himself and Bettis as he can. But unfortunately, it's just not his season. So so Harris will just have to come across the line, get a win, and at least build yourself a bit of momentum for next season. So if Harris is signed up for next season, we know he's going to be tough to try and get through, but we know that Bettis is going to walk in, if he's signed up for next season, it's going to walk in there with the number 1 plate. If all goes well here for the last few minutes of this one. But we know that Harris is going to be a tough contender to beat. Unfortunately, a couple of things not going his way this season, but it does mean that, of course, next season, if he can keep up the momentum, he will walk into season 5 with a bit of momentum behind him, and he'll probably put some heavier lead in that right boot and be able to make his way up the field. And of course, I mean, look, this is only season 4. You know, we've seen this battle for the championship between Harris, Bettis, you know, Burgess and Shepherd have been in there a little bit. Muir's been in there a little bit as the defending champion. So I think it's safe to say that we will see a bit of a ding-dong battle next season for season 5 if all have re-signed to come on board for next season.
Not even just those guys as well. I mean, the anticipation that more Pro Series entered drivers could join as well, knowing that a couple of the rounds line up the same week as the Pro Series as well, obviously giving them a race practice the Monday before the big event on the Wednesday for that Pro Series. So, you know, that gives opportunity. As we see up ahead there, that's Ross Armour, who's had a moment down at turn 5 and just slots straight out of the way of Daniel Harris. Doesn't want to get held up at all here, especially with Bettis chasing him down at this point in time. Has actually closed the gap a little bit here as Bettis, but ultimately he doesn't need to with 2 minutes to go. We're going to get one more lap in this race. We're lap 29 of 30 here tonight. That's what we've averaged across the night of the 2 40-minute races as well. And for Ryan Bettis, it'll be one more lap until he is crowned the champion of Season 4. Ultimately, for Daniel Harris, there's a lot of positives he can take from tonight, Brandon. There's a lot of positives he can take from this season as well. He was the first person to sign up for Season 5, so he's hungry to try and win this championship that has eluded him in his 3 proper attempts that he's made at it. Maybe the 4th attempt could be his to win the title next season.
Maybe it can be. You never know what that might bring. Maybe it might be lucky number 4 for Daniel Harris as he comes out of the final corner now to cross the line. Barty the flagman, the iRacing legend, if you will, has waved the white flag. We got one more to go for this one here, the Adelaide Street Circuit. Looking forward to seeing how this one will go next year. Of course, next year's calendar has been released, shown earlier tonight. And of course, for anyone watching this, if you want to get involved, of course, sign-ups are on the YouTube chat. Go and check it out. Join in on the Discord if you want to be a part of the fun. That is the iRacing World Challenge for the VRS Porsche Cup Series. Monday nights, we'll get yourself in for a bit of Porsche action. Daniel Harris now comes into turn 8. You can see the sun glaring off the track. He comes through turn 8 now, nice and clean. 3 seconds cleared of Bettis. So Daniel Harris, despite the season he's had and the close run that he's had with the last few rounds, the battles he's been doing to accumulate as much points as he can, will come across the line out of into 14 now, and will come out of 14 and across the line. He'll win the last race of the season, but unfortunately will have to settle for second in the championship, as here comes Ryan Bettis, who will win the gold championship for the VRS Porsche Cup. Congratulations to Ryan Bettis for the 113. We'll take out 2 of those numbers and you'll be the number 1 for next season. Samuel in 3rd, so that rounds out our gold class there for the podium. Scott Rankin, the best of the silver class competitors, in 4th. Miles Burgess and Ellie Gardner will cross the line 5th and 6th. Here is our silver class champion, Alex Tzikis. Got a bit of a showboating left to right there. We'll come home in 7th. Jared McLeod and Todd Sutter will round out 8th and 9th. Todd Sutter, the best of our gold class winners. Congratulations to Todd Sutter on getting that one. Jason Douglas comes home in 10th overall, and that'll help him out there as well. Craig Schultz comes home in 11th to finish off the season, and we look back to Jolan Hansen, who will come across the line in 12th in the 717. What a run for all the drivers tonight. Unfortunately, Brady Stanley has not made it for race 2. He was in race 1. Unfortunately, I think he's decided not to do race 2 here tonight. So that wraps up season 4 of the VRS Porsche Cup Series here at Adelaide.
Well, what a season it has been for season 4 of the VRS Porsche Cup Series, and a championship has been completed once again, and our champions have earned their silverware here this evening. Alex Tzikis solidifies the silver championship here tonight, as did Todd Suter for the bronze class. And for Ryan Bettis, after an ultimate championship run this season, with 19 top 5s across the season, he will win the VRS Porsche Cup Series Gold Class for Season 4 in what was an all-time championship run for Ryan Bettis. And a massive congratulations to him and to OPR as well for their run this season. And for Ryan, well, ultimately, it was his from almost the get-go, Brandon. I mean, win after win after win, top 5 after top 5. It felt like an insurmountable hill to climb for Daniel Harris here this season, but ultimately it is Ryan Bettis who's come home with the race win here this evening. I'm just going to quickly send out a message to Race Control to get our champions in here. And then we can get the interview started for the evening as well. We'll begin with our overall, with our silver class race winner on the evening here tonight in Scott Rankins. Scott, welcome in. Very quick one for you here tonight as the silver class race winner of the feature race. Congratulations. What a way to finish it out. Got to have a little bit of a battle there with your former podcast co-host in Simon Mazzomo here this evening.
Battle? Mate, I was playing with my food.
Well, I mean, a win to end your season, Scott. Played out much better than your last attempt here at Adelaide only a week ago in Premier Endurance League. But how did you find the track car combination this evening with this new grand final format as well of 2 40-minute races?
I got to be honest, I'm absolutely cooked at the back end of the weekend, and I've got a cold. So, yeah, I was just coming in and just trying to survive, and I've spent so much time on the sim and everything across the weekend because it's cricket finals as well. So I've been putting a lot of work into a lot of different things, and nothing's really been working for me at the moment. So, yesterday with the OSR 12 hour and then into this was challenging. This was not easy, but this was also really, really important for me, and working on technique and patience and thought processes and pressure. I think all of those are really, really key. And shout out to Sam Muir, gave me a lot of room, gave me a lot of respect, gave me a lot of space. No hero dive bombs, respected the blocks, tried to do something with them, man. I've got no energy, mate. And then to top everything off, in the warm-up session between the two races, my upshifter failed. So I had to basically learn to upshift and downshift with my left hand and drive that race car.
Wow. What a night for you, Scott. What a tough night as well. Unbelievable stuff, honestly. Unbelievable stuff. Looking into next season, are you looking at making a comeback with some of your other Drop Bear Motorsport teammates out there as well? Possibly a revision with Lachlan Capel coming back and maybe Sam Blacklock as well. We'd love to have them back again because both those guys have got some mega talent, and I'm sure they can string you along to some more class wins across the season.
Well, I mean, good news, bad news sort of situation. I don't know if you noticed, but the paint is black tonight.
It is.
That's all I can say on that matter at this point in time. unfortunately, you'll have to wait another 24 hours for an announcement. That's really all I can really talk about at this point in time. So there's something really, really cool. Teammates in the future. Like I said, nothing I can talk about, boys.
Oh, maybe a merger's coming once again. Brandon, who knows?
I don't know, mate. I don't know what you're talking about. I never said anything.
See, orbit and drop bit. Is it going to be like a orbit drop bit? Add another team name to it. Team name situation again. I don't know, but we'll find out in 24 hours time, I suppose.
I cannot talk anything further. But for anyone who actually wants any more information, the Orbit Drop Bear Facebook page is probably the best place to keep up with it. If it's bad news, look, there's nothing I can do about that. It's out of my hands. But I feel really, really promising. There could be some great news. I don't know. We'll roll the spinny wheel tomorrow night and find out.
We'll see what happens. But Scott, no matter what happens tomorrow, we hope to have you back next season. We look forward to seeing how you go if you do return next season, alongside Sam and Connor and Lachlan as well. But appreciate your time here tonight. Congratulations on the feature race win. We've got a couple of names to get through tonight. But congrats on the
thanks, boys.
On the efforts this season, and congrats on the feature race win for the silver class here in the final race of the season. Well done.
Thanks, boys. Thank you very much. Big shout out to everyone that supports both myself and the team at this current point in time. So
no worries. Thanks so much, Scotty. Well, next up we have... Okay, I want to try and do our champions all at once. So let's go now to P3 in the championship this season and go to Dylan Shepherd. Dylan, welcome in. P3 in the championship this season. And unfortunately into your season as well. But we could only surmise what happened to your car to get that meatball flag at the end of that race, and we both assumed it was the jump. It was the jump of destiny off of the second chicane that might have given it to you. Was that the moment that it happened? Because you had a wild ride after that one. It was pretty spectacular actually to see that happen.
No, it was actually turn 11, the left-hander with the red ball on the outside. Yeah, just nicked it.
Okay.
Saw me times, saw I was able to catch old mate in front. And I was just pushing hard to get there. It's just had a little bit of understeer, probably got on the power a bit early, tapped the wall, and like I did in the race before, but the car was fine, and I thought the car was still fine, but it gave me a meatball, and I was like, oh, maybe it's not. And then it went to turn 1, and it was all over.
Obviously, a toughly battled season between yourself, Daniel, and Ryan, of course, as well. Results that were decided on track, that were decided off track as well. With results that you may not have agreed with, or that you may have agreed with as well. What are you going to be able to take away from this season, and looking into season's future if you do return for next season as well? What do you think are some big takeaways you can put into next season, maybe to try and not let Ryan run away with it so well at the end of the season, and actually really keep him within sort of 40 or 30 points to the season's end?
Look, I think the biggest takeaways are I probably need to work on coming through the field a bit. Whether race control is right or wrong, it's their call at the end of the day. And every time we had a discussion, I think it was pretty constructive and came to the right decisions in the end. So I'm not going to say the championship was lost with race control. I think maybe a stronger start of the season would have been better. I think around that first endurance race at that French circuit we went to, Jerez, I think that's where my pace truly started to come back in. So the biggest takeaway from that point forward was just that I've kind of found my rhythm in this car again. It used to be a front runner in it many years ago. So it was good to be fast in the Cup car again, and at least try and fight for the championship towards the end, even though it didn't come my way.
I think you drove very, very well at times, obviously, and drove right on the limit of grip, or on the limit of almost getting into incidents of people. I mean, last week's battle was unbelievable out of Miami. I mean, me and Brandon out of our seats last week, but I think a lot of positives to take out of this season that can be applied to future seasons in this car, whether it's here or whether it's in the Pro Series, whatever it might be. Maybe both. I mean, we line up the same week as the Pro Series, so you can get a race practice in the Monday before. But yeah, I mean, it's a solid run, Dylan, and it's been great to see your racing progress throughout this season and how well you've done as well. It's been great to see you get pretty much a full season in too. I know that you've been limited previously in some other series because of real world racing constraints as well. But no, I mean, fantastic to see you do so well this season and be here majority of the weeks as well. And I think you've well and earned this P3 in the championship. So congratulations on your efforts. I assume you want to leave the shout outs to Ryan as the champion now for next season.
Certainly not.
Certainly not.
That bloke is useless at the sponsor shout-outs.
Well,
That's the whole reason he dragged me in here.
Well, there's one reason. There's one thing I'm going to say to you though, and I'm going to say if I hope Freeman watches this back as well, because he'll probably push him for it, and so will Edwards. He needs to run the number 1 next season. He needs to come back and defend that title now.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I think his commitments might be leaning a bit more towards his V8 Pro. I don't know how much time he'll put in. He's not doing the P Cup Pro Series, so I think most of his time will be heading towards the V8s. But yeah, I'm sure he's certainly glad to have gotten the championship under his belt finally.
Well, Dylan, we appreciate your time. Is there anyone that you want to give a shout out to before we let you go this evening?
Yeah, 100%. The team would just like to thank all the sponsors and partners behind us. Motec for being the technical partner. Gamma Flare coming on board. Really good relationship with them. Keen to look forward to how that progresses. And Simrigs, because without them, we would not be on track.
Well, we appreciate your time, Dylan. If you make a return next season, we wish you the best of luck. And if not, we wish you luck wherever it is that you're racing in your sim racing career going forward as well. But appreciate your time once again. Dylan Shepherd, P3 in the championship. Congratulations.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for all the work you've put in. It's been an excellent series to be a part of.
No worries. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Next up this evening, we have our race winner on the road here tonight. We're getting to our champions last. We like to make them wait, Brandon. We really like to make the champions wait. Just sweat it out a little bit in the green room. Our race winner here this evening in Daniel Harris, and P2 in the championship as well. Daniel, you did everything you possibly could have done to try and win the championship tonight, and it didn't just quite go your way in the end there. But are there any positives you're able to pull out of tonight's event? Because I think you drove absolutely spectacular out there and had some fantastic battles all throughout the final event of the season as well.
Yeah, I mean, positives are probably just finally getting the strategy right in that last race. I mean, yeah, I pretty much did all I could. Racing was left all out on the track, and yeah, I don't think there was much to be done. Ryan drove absolutely impeccably all season, so he deserved that championship. And yeah, probably just could have had some better things at the start of the season. Things not going my way, forgetting to grid up, that kind of thing. So yeah, good season, but yeah, I did all I could.
Obviously, season 5 upcoming with a calendar that you said yourself drew you back into signing up again for the upcoming season. Do you think maybe third time running a full season could be the charm for you this time to try and win that title?
Maybe. Obviously too early to say anything yet. I have been running some laps at St. Pete, and that track is extremely fun. So looking forward to that in the P Cup. It'll be very, very interesting. I've been driving it in the IndyCar for league race tomorrow. But yeah, yeah, looking forward to it. I left it all out on the track. I know that there was some issues here and there with people, but you know, I feel like I'm happy to leave that all out on the track and not take it off the track. In the end of the day, it was just very, very hard racing, and yeah, I don't really have much more to say other than that.
Well, we appreciate you coming over to chat to us, Daniel. A great effort this season, obviously P2 in the championship, so there's definitely some positives to take away from it. We look forward to seeing how you apply those to next season and how you know, how you go next season as well, because you know, I think you're long becoming one of those drivers in the field that, you know, you're always producing some great battles for us in the booth to call. Some of my funnest times I've been able to call battles has been involving you, so you must be doing something right on track. But no, I appreciate your time. Congratulations on that P2 once again. Is there anyone that you want to give a shout out to before we let you go here this evening?
Shout out to Jack, helped me a little bit with YouTube stuff. You as well, all the guys at Race Control, you guys doing the broadcast, and the boys at Effect as well, just for being good supporting lads. And yeah, I think that's it. And Sim Coach as well. If you need coaching or setups, go to simcoach.co.uk.
We appreciate your time.
VRS.
You can't say
love
that,
you,
Daniel.
VRS. I love you.
We appreciate your time, Daniel. Thanks so much once again for coming over chat to us, and best of luck in season 5, where we'll see if you can finally take home that P1 in the gold class in the championship.
Oh, thanks, man.
Thank you so much. All right, next up this evening, we're going to get through them fairly swiftly as much as we can. We have got our bronze class champion coming up for you momentarily. If I can spell correctly, that'd be fantastic. For me, at least. We've got our bronze class champion in Todd Suter. Todd, welcome in. Congratulations. Bronze class champion for season 4 of the VRS Porsche Cup Series. Solid run this season and consistent run as well, and some great points bags along the way as well. How was your season for you in taking home this championship and making the move up to silver class for season 5?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a mixed bag, to be honest. Had some really good competitive nights, had some nights, absolute shockers, like last week losing a wheel halfway, 3 laps into the second race and absolutely cooking the pit stop the first race. Yeah, look, it's been overall, I'm quite happy with the consistency. Bit of a disappointment to not get some closer battles with Tim and Luke throughout the season, but yeah, overall happy with it. Yeah, looking forward to banging a few doors with the silver class next season.
Well, I think the way you've driven, especially in the latter half of this season as well, I think you're going to be right up there in terms of battling amongst those silver class drivers within the mid pack as well. I mean, was there anything that you learned coming out of this season that you think is going to help you heading into season 5 amongst that silver class and battling with those drivers that you were battling with on track, but not necessarily, for championship honours this season? Have we got you, Todd?
Sorry.
you're
Once
right.
I understood how the points were being done, I probably conceded a few too many positions early in the race because I thought I was just sort of battling with my own split. But once I kind of realized that I really needed to only give up positions that weren't really worth fighting with the faster drivers, that was probably the biggest takeaway for me. But yeah, that's been good.
Well, we appreciate you coming over chat to us, Todd. A massive congratulations on your championship win here this evening. We wish you the best of luck next season in the silver class as well. Is there anyone that you want to give a shout out to before we let you go this evening?
Oh, look, I'd probably just thank my better half for letting me go race cars a couple of nights a week and just tolerating me in general.
Well, we appreciate your time, Todd. Best of luck next season, and congratulations on the Bronze Class Championship. Todd Suter, your Season 4 Bronze Class Champion. Congratulations.
Thanks again.
Next up, we have our Silver Class Champion here tonight, who went on to put himself provisionally within this place off his efforts in race number 1 earlier in the evening from JMR. In his first attempt, he's gone on to win the Silver Class Championship. Alex Zizikas, welcoming. Congratulations, Silver Class Championship next to your name. I mean, you were the provisional champion at the end of race 1 tonight, so I meant in race 2 you could kind of just sit back and race along around this wonderful Adelaide street circuit. How does it feel to solidify such a performance this season with strong performances across the night and ultimately that Silver Championship next to your name as well?
I'm honestly speechless now. I didn't think Goals Lines are going to be winning the Silver Class Championship, but I mean, my performance this season, it's been great. We've had a lot of pretty good results, especially like my P3 from Suzuka back in round 5. That was a pretty good highlight from this season, and just how I've been this whole season. Yeah.
I mean, obviously a solid performance for you across this season has put you amongst, obviously the upper echelon of those gold class drivers. Do you think it's going to take you a season to get suited within that gold class, or are you anticipating that you're going to be off the rip ready at the get-go to push on it and try and take yourself to the next level next season?
I think we're going to be right off the get-go and take ourselves to the next level for next season in the gold class. I reckon. We'll probably
Well,
be scrappy at the start. But yeah.
well, I said tonight that I've been really impressed by how sort of mature your driving's become across this season. You know, at the start of the season, it was a little bit scrappy at times, but you really solidified yourself within a couple of rounds and kind of just put yourself on the front foot forward. Drove very cleanly, picked your battles very smartly, and I think ultimately you earned this championship through smart driving and consistency as well. And ultimately, that's normally how championships are won in sim racing, and you did everything right this season to do that. And I think if you can continue to apply that into next season, whilst also obviously trying to take yourself to the next level, whether it's in terms of pace or in terms of more consistency or consistent lap times at that top level, I don't think it's going to be very long until you are battling for those overall race wins and ultimately battling with them based on your pure pace alone, not necessarily from, being the benefactor of a reverse grid and just being and defending your position up the front, because I think that your defensive acumen towards the latter half of the season was fantastic. I just think if that pace gets up there, you're going to be one of the better drivers in the field in terms of clean, but also fast and probably safe to battle with out on the track surface as well.
Yeah, for sure, I reckon. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to next season. I will definitely come back and do another season here in the Porsches. And yeah, let's see what I can do next season in the gold class.
We'll see what you can do, Alex. But is there anyone that you want to give a shout out to before we let you go here this evening?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout to Team J-Mart South, Night Shift Collective, Lodge Brothers, Jet, Jason, and all the boys on the team for making this happen.
We appreciate your time, Alex. Congratulations on the Silver Class Championship for Season 4 here in the VRS Porsche Cup Series. We wish you the best of luck in Season 5 as a Gold Class driver, and we look forward to seeing how you go in your second season here now in the top class in the field. Congratulations.
Yep, thank you, Hamish.
Thanks so much. And finally, here this evening, ladies and gentlemen, after what was arguably one of the most dominant performances this season, from bell to bell, post to post, from flag to flag, with 19 top fives across this season, never finishing outside of the top 5 when he finished inside the top 10, and multiple race wins to boot as well. Your gold class champion, Ryan Bettis. Ryan, welcome in. Congratulations. From the get-go, you were a man on absolute fire this season. I mean, you just looked to be in a class of your own at the start of the season. Shepo and Harris and Muir at times caught back up to you throughout the season, but you just ran something different in terms of consistency and speed. You were incredible out there this season.
Yeah, hey guys, thank you. Yeah, the first half of the season was really consistent. I kind of like this car. I mean, besides the bounciness, yeah, people call it a trampoline. Yeah, but I like it though. The back half of the season and the mid half was, I mean, it was a struggle, but I was still getting top 5s and stuff. So, no, it was a good season though. Definitely a lot better than the season 1 when I think this series first came out.
Back in, it would have been season 2 of last year.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, when we first had back in the 992.1. I mean, what a turnaround though of polar opposites. I mean, you look 12 months apart, and it is legit just polar opposites. I mean, it's the way that you've gone driving this season. Selectively aggressive at times, whilst also selectively subdued as well. I mean, even towards the, latter end of this race, there was times where you were just kind of holding back, knowing that you were fine in the position you were to win the championship. And then at times you're obviously pushing to try and catch up to see if you could take the race win. But no, man, I mean, the season that you ran was incredible. And I think you should be very, very proud of the efforts you did this season as well. And ultimately, I think that just you look at the stats and you look at the numbers of the season, you won the championship on the road, and you won it by being the best driver of the lot this season. It wasn't a matter of two drivers as good as each other going back and forth all season. Stats-wise, you dominated the proceedings. I mean, it was spectacular.
Yeah, just staying consistent, stuff like that. I wish OWM boys with it stayed in the season a lot longer. I know Blacklock he was really quick. Tyson Broad was pretty quick as well. So it would have been pretty good to have more OPR, OWM battles and stuff like that. Daniel Harris has had good pace too towards the end of the season. He was pretty consistent in the feature races and stuff like that. I was pretty surprised not to see Corey Lazarus in there as well, to be honest with you. I thought he would have been straight into this with
I know.
Porsche Cup Pro.
He's been away now for a couple of seasons. He went away in season 2 to focus on PESC, and unfortunately he hasn't come back because I think he's been focusing on some family time and stuff like that as well. We would love to have Corey back, especially next season, being that it would be our 1-year anniversary of the league, and yeah, we would love to get Corey back out there again, because I would love to see how he would do against this modern Porsche Cup Series field, knowing the level of competitiveness that's gone up, especially in that top class, and where he would situate himself amongst that field as well. I mean, I think that he's one of the best Porsche Cup drivers, obviously, in Australia. To have him in here would be absolutely spectacular, and I'd love to have him back again.
Yeah, I'd love to see him next season. I'm still up in arms if I want to do it. I got V8 Pro on Wednesday, and I am not looking good. I'll be honest. I am probably gonna be at the back.
Well, I mean, you know, Ryan, you get to run the number 1 next season in a Porsche series. I mean, that's a pretty good, pretty good reason to. Yeah, it's pretty good. You know, there's not many times, and I always say to people who and ah about running the 1, and I say to them, "Are you ever going to get another chance?" That realistically, like, how many times do you ever get to run the number 1 on a car in a season where they leave the number 1 for a champion? It's pretty rare that people get to consistently run the number 1. I mean, I think that, you know, you're someone who could definitely go back to back, based on how you drove this season. You know, how often do you get the chance to run a number 1 as a champion? I mean, it's a pretty cool feat to do, and it's almost like a badge of honor, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got that. But it's just the pressure of like having to perform, you know.
Well, you know, Sam Muir did it 2 seasons in a row. I mean, he won and then he backed it up with the 1 on his car as well. So if Sam Muir can do it, I'm sure you can.
Yeah, I think I could, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. I'll definitely think about it. If I'm there, I'm there. If I'm not, then it'll probably be the one after.
Well, whenever it is, we look forward to whenever you do come back. And whenever you come back, we hope you do well once again. You're lucky Shepo came in here to do the shout-outs for you in terms of the team sponsorship. But is there anyone personally you'd like to thank before we let you go this evening?
No, it's just Shep. He's been a lot of help with the championship-wise. Keeping Daniel behind in points as well. Keeping that buffer, that's good. Miles, just all the OPR boys, really. Just, yeah. That's it.
Well, Ryan, we appreciate you coming to have a chat to us. Congratulations on being the Gold Class champion for Season 4 of the VRS Porsche Cup Series. We wish you the best of luck in the V8 Pro Series as well coming up. And if we see you back next season, we wish you luck then. If it's the season after, we look forward and welcome you back with open arms once again.
Lovely. Thank you, Hamish.
Thanks so much, Ryan. Appreciate your time. Oh, Brandon, through the longest night of interviews we ever have here in the VRS Porsche Cup Series, it's come to an end for Season 4. And we look ahead to Season 3, Season 5. Season 3. My God, my brain is off. To Season 5, where ultimately we are going to be in for a fantastic championship battle once again, I'm sure. A phenomenal calendar on offer for everyone out there next season. Sign-ups are live right now, $30 entry fee. You can get signed up, get in the Discord, it's linked in the chat, and come and join us next season. I mean, the way that this championship was set up leading into tonight's race, it was always going to be a tough battle for Daniel Harris, but looking at next season, it's going to be fantastic. March 23rd, that week, is going to be pre-qualifying week for new drivers coming into the series, held out at Circuito de Jerez Moto Circuit. Round 1 will begin April 6th, out at Detroit Belle Isle for the first round of the season. We then go into Road Atlanta on April 13th. April 20th, we'll line up with the Pro Series that week and head out to Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps for round 3. Circuit Zolder for round 4 on the 27th of April. May 4th, we'll find ourselves at Magny-Cours with round 6 out at Donington Park taking place on the 11th of May. With the 18th of May taking us to Mugello for round 7. The Nürburgring for round 8 in the WEC variant of the Grand Prix circuit on the 25th of May as well. And then we get into our final series, the undroppable rounds of the season, the semi-final at St. Petersburg on the 1st of June. And to Adelaide Street Circuit once again. for the 8th of June for the final round of Season 5. It's a spectacular calendar. It's a very fun calendar, and it's one that I think a lot of people are going to be ready to sink their teeth into in these Porsche Cup cars. I'm super excited, Brandon, and I can't wait to see what happens next season in only a few weeks' time.
Certainly will be. I mean, look at that. You started off with a street circuit. You ended with a semi and a grand final around a street circuit. I don't think you can get anything better than that. But look at the array of tracks in between. I think it's going to be a really interesting season next time.
I think it will be as well, and you can catch all the action live next season. As we said, beginning April 6th of 2026, we hit our goal of 350 subscribers earlier today during our Highside Motorsports broadcast for round 14 of that series out at Iowa Speedway. We now sit at 354 at this moment in time, so we appreciate everybody's support. The next goal that we've got, 356, we've gone up by 2 again. The next goal that we have is for 400. I'm not putting a time limit on it though, but you could help us take a small step to 400 subscribers by hitting the like button, the subscribe, and the bell icon as well, so you're notified whenever we go racing right here on Affinity Broadcasting. Coming up into Season 2 of iRacing, well, the VRS Porsche Cup Series will return for Season 5 in early April. We've also got, starting next week, a week from Saturday, Season 27 of the Racecraft Simulations V8 Veterans Action for Split 2. Myself and Brett Fisher in the booth for that one, as we'll begin broadcasting Saturday, 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, I believe it will be, on the weekend of Saturday, March 28th. Should be round 1, I believe. I will double check before I'm putting out false information. Let me double triple check when round 1 is. Yes, it will be. It will be Saturday, March 28th. So you can catch us live 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time right here on Affinity Broadcasting. Highside Motorsports has still got 1 round to go of their series on Monday morning, 10:50 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time, where we'll be going racing at Charlotte Motor Speedway to end out that championship. The title's already been decided, but the team's championship has also been decided as well earlier today. So it'll be a fun event. You can get into the chat, hang out with us, and enjoy the action as we go racing in Gen 6 Cup cars around Charlotte Motor Speedway next Monday morning as well. To everyone out there who's been supporting us this season and the last 4 seasons and the last 12 months as well, we appreciate your support across the previous year of the first year of the VRS Porsche Cup Series, and we look forward to the next 12 months with you once again. A shout out to our series sponsors, of course, VRS, SPP Graphics, Blackheart Designs, and Affinity Broadcasting as well. We appreciate everybody that helps support the series. But for myself, Hamish Munro and Brandon Stuck alongside me, appreciate your time, appreciate your efforts being here with us once again. We'll see you guys next season for Season 5. But until then, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
Control, feel the thunder in my soul, through the danger, through the pain, only one thing to do to get to victory lane, taking risks, full send, and in the end, be the best, it's taken over, cannot contain, the desire to get to victory lane. I hear the echoes of the past, the roaring ghosts that never last. But here I stand, the finish line. One last race, one last time. Through it all, get past the pain. Cutting laps, making gains. Feeling tired, get to my aim. The desire to get to victory lane. Speeding faster, no control. Feel the thunder in my soul. Through the danger, through the pain. Only one thing to do to get to victory lane. Taking risks, full send, and in the end, be the best. It's taken over, cannot contain the desire to get to victory lane.